this game that I'm going to be playing, I don't know if you're going to be watching, but this game that I'm going to be playing is just a, like, really bare bones remaster of a game that I liked a lot when I was a kid. And it's a game that was made for kids. So, it's really easy. So, the gameplay is honestly kind of boring. I wanted to stream it because I thought it was chill, and then I got booted from the group after only doing one, so I haven't done more before yesterday for 3 months.
Never
I say.
underestimate a monster. So warned an old man with many caravans under his belt.
If you're gonna watch, it's Josh who plays Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just scrolling around online for a second, but yeah, I see the thingamajig.
My worst fears.
Yeah.
I can only hope.
So here we are with the stream of the streams of a Final Fantasy thing that I do not know, because I do not know Final Fantasy.
You don't know anything about Final Fantasy?
Literally none. I only know the games the best friends have played, and even then, I only have little knowledge of it. Everyone knows about Cloud and that shit, but I know nothing else. Never got into Final Fantasy.
I could, like, just ruin your life by giving you a very detailed description of, like, every Final Fantasy game that I've played. I can run down, like, every story beat up to 10 years before the game starts in-game. And then, like, describe the events of the story. Because that's how obsessed I am with Final Fantasy. The ones that I've played, anyway.
So, what you're saying is you're as obsessed with that as Grant is for his Narutos, and Rian is for his Dragon Balls.
Yeah. Like, back when I was still welcome in the server, we pretty much all agreed that, like, Grant was the Naruto specialist, and I was the Final Fantasy specialist, and, Rian was the Dragon Ball Z specialist.
The Trinity of Weebery.
Yeah.
Sounds like a horrible wrestling trio.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Eric, my good man.
What's up? What's up, Bill?
As I've told you, I've been dabbling in the Yakuza 6, and even though I am only in the stretch marks of the beginning, I am already kind of brought to tears. My baby Haruka being in the hospital, and me trying to take care of this baby Hotaru, and this baby, and Kiri's like, fuck baby.
What did
Everybody's
you...
already making... Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. I was gonna say, what did you think of that boss fight?
The boss fights are what I would expect. I enjoyed the...
No, I meant specifically the one where Kiryu's like, I'm taking this baby.
No, I know, against Akiyama.
Yeah.
It was what you expected, because you fought him in Yakuza, what was it, 4, I think? Yeah, you fought him in Yakuza 4, and it was pretty much what I expected.
You didn't fight him in a baby nursery, though. That's
No, yeah, it was baby nursery the whole time, and then even when it's over, Akiyama's like, yeah, I can't really fight you, man, not on this. I know you're being serious. I can't really fight you when you're trying to take care of this baby.
Baby.
And they're just giving Kiryu that nice little feeling. Yes?
I like how everybody shit on the CPS guy.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
That CPS guy was, very shit-onable in the 2 cutscenes he was in.
Like, who the fuck says, hey, we don't know you're gonna be, if you're gonna sell this baby for organs or some shit?
Yeah, because, like, baby organs will fit in a adult body.
No, yeah, so, because, again, the whole thing is, and it does bring up that they try to really make a good ambiguous situation out of this, because it's not as clear cut as, oh, Kiryu's being the righteous man with nothing wrong. It's just people being unreasonable around him. It's like, well, Kiryu, you are literally a criminal with a huge fucking criminal past. We don't know if Haruka was hit because somebody wanted to, you know, get to you in some way. Now she has a baby, and you, the criminal who just got out of jail, is saying, I'm gonna take care of this baby. Any law-abiding child protective person would say, fuck no. Because that's the same logic as like a drug addict or a murderer coming back out and saying, no, I'm gonna take care of this baby. No. But on the other hand,
like,
they did their best to hand wave that away by trying to make the CPS guy seem kind of scummy. Because if he was as righteous as they're supposed to be, then it really would make Kiryu look like a bad guy. But he's like, oh, the baby's gonna go to an orphanage, and then Kiryu says, you don't even fucking care. You only care because you're liable for it. And then Date says, yeah, they only care because they're liable for it. When I said I would take the fall, he says, fine, take the fucking baby. I don't care.
Yeah. Even Date goes like, man, I hope they put him somewhere that he's far away from children as possible, because he didn't any of the fucking Haruto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I played that, all I could think was,
Wait.
all I could think was, how hard are they trying to, like, make it look... How hard are they trying to make him a hero here? I mean, like...
Who, Kiryu or the CPS guy?
Kiryu. Like, because, like you said, the exact words you used was, if he's as righteous as a person like that is supposed to be. The sad thing is, like, a lot of the time, even in real life, those people aren't as righteous as they're supposed to be.
No, yeah, that's why they were able to do that, and they even hit on another point that happens in real life. Oh, child protective services usually understaffed, overworked, they have too many clients, they have enough people are going to be willing to do it for such low wages, because I forgot the average for New York, but they have high numbers for like every individual like agent in that organization, so it does hit on real life.
It's
so
like public school.
It's one of those. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's understandable. Like, you wouldn't even see him as a bad guy for kind of giving up a bit. Because, again, being in that job means if something happens to this kid, you are the first person that people look at. They don't care about the parents, because, again, people expect the parents to be shit. They expect the kid to already go through trials with the parent. But you're like, the tax dollars go into you being able to protect the child. If the child is being abused, you have to be able to somehow make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah. You have to be somehow responsible for making sure everything going forward works for that kid. But that's not how life works. So sometimes you get accusations, sometimes things go bad, and sometimes you have literally too many fucking cases, and you have to think in your mind, okay, who do I help first? The kid who might be getting abused by her father, or the child that literally got like sold by her mother for fucking crack money. It's like, you've got it's levels, and you have to make these decisions all the fucking time. So it's
I feel like more of the blame should be on the foster parents once the kid is assigned to because a lot of time foster family
is that
terrible people.
It's business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it just comes down to the thing about, it's basically like, okay, a child has no real agency outside of the few things it might do. And when we're talking about protection for the child, okay, the original blood parents aren't working out. Let's try to take them out of that toxic situation and hopefully put them somewhere where they'll be safe. The literal place they can put the child is an orphanage, which is supposed to be able to feed the child, take care of the child until they can go into some foster parent. And then the foster parent is another hurdle, because even if they look great on paper, you don't know who they might be. They could be bad people. They could only want the child for, the kickback money. They could be very, very abusive, so you don't know. And it's always a gamble when you have to deal with that. And again, it's a huge system that pretty much has to do with the community itself. Like, it's pretty much a reflection of the city you live in. If a child
is not a
can't
great
be
city.
put, yeah, so it's kind of a reflection of the environment you're in. If, okay, we did our best to take the child out of this bad situation, and then they got put in another bad situation. Like, on some level, you blame CPS. On some level, you blame just society. So, it's hard. But you never want to hear, oh, a little baby got taken to an orphanage, to a foster parent, and then died the same day. It's like, well, fuck. Who do we blame for this?
I blame the schools.
So yeah, I definitely felt the situation Kiryu was in, and given his history with orphanages and stuff like that, I could understand why it's like, no, I can't let them take Hotaru, because if I do, I'm never going to be able to help this kid. Like, I'm not going to be able to see him, I'm not going to be able to take care of him, and who knows what the fuck might happen to him. I have to hold on to him at least until Haruka pulls through. And then they drop the other bombshell and says, well, what if she doesn't pull through? And then, you know, it's just real tough for Kiryu, because he is in the worst spot. And I do like the other thing of Kiryu went to jail trying to, like, purge all of his sins of all the things he's done up to this point. And now he's already thrusted right back into fucking Kamurocho and the Yakuza and everything. It's like he can't really wash the blood off. He can't.
The entire Yakuza series can be summed up as, just when I think I'm out, they keep pulling me back in.
I gotta go get my suit. God damn it.
Gotta never tell anybody.
Never for never.
Have you gotten to, Hiroshima?
That's what...
Have you gotten to Hiroshima yet, Junior?
If that's the place where Kiryu fights that asshole in that bar, then yes.
Okay, I like how, when he's in that part of the game, he's wearing, like in Yakuza 3, he's wearing his Hawaiian shirt when he's in Okinawa.
Oh, yeah.
In this one, he's, like, just got his sleeves rolled up and without the suit jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm a
like,
civilian.
Yeah, because like you said, oh, I gotta get my suit. He's trying really hard not to wear the suit. But it's his only set of clothes.
Put this back on.
It's his only set of clothes. So he just, like, wears as little of it as possible.
I'm just the old grandpa trying to take care of his grandbaby. And I love how when he walks up to that bar lady, she's like, oh, is that your son? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not the dad. It's like, oh, like grandpa then. And he's like, oh, I guess you could say that. And it's like, yeah, Kiryu, you're old.
You're 48.
You're an old man, and this is your baby's baby.
Your adopted baby's not adopted baby.
And it's like, I'm just trying to be a good man. Just trying to get out of this. And, like, it's every old man pulled in a violent situation story ever. Like, fucking Logan looking at Kiryu like, first time I understand that feeling.
No, I'm sitting here thinking, like, what if Kiryu was, like, not mad, like, he's not mad that she had a baby, he's just worried. What if he was mad that Haruka had a baby that she didn't adopt? He's all like, I didn't raise you like that!
I mean, there are mods that are like that, where it's like past Haruka, but like I posted that in the Discord.
I didn't.
And it was like it was past Haruka versus modern Haruka. And someone in the comments said, this is past Haruka saying, you see, you had unprotected sex?
Yeah. I mean, that is how these things happen. It's
yeah,
like he's not even mad that she had
a quiet life.
Like, the idea that he would be, like, not mad because she had unprotected sex, but mad because she didn't adopt a baby. Like, this is an adoption family.
Well, on one hand, I kind of could believe that, because I don't see Kiryu as the kind of guy who would get upset at anybody having a child. keep in mind, like
he definitely isn't.
He's used to the criminal element. Like he's so used to seeing horrible shit left and right. So it's not like he could say, "What? You had unprotected sex before marriage?" Egad, like Kiryu would never fucking care.
The rest
all
of
you
Japan
care about
gives
is
a
if
shit.
you're a good. Oh yeah, the rest of Japan does, but all Kiryu cares about is, are you a good person? If you're a good person, then all that matters is that, because eventually you'll make it work for the baby. But if you're like, see an orphan on the side of the street and you're like, well, I'm not going to care about that orphan, then your Kiryu's going to say, you son of a bitch. You're not going to take that orphan in and put that in your family? You sick bastard. I'm going to throw you off the Millennium Tower.
And then he'll do it.
Yeah, it's in the same sequence.
And you'll survive somehow.
Yeah, because Kiryu doesn't kill. Like when he fought that big, bald Chinese man, him and Akiyama beat the shit out of him, and he's like, you bastards, teaming up 2 against 1. It's like, dude, you had like 50 guys behind you. What are you talking about?
You also had like 50,000 health.
Yeah, you ran up on me and my hobo friend.
With his hobo knife.
So yeah, I'm enjoying that so far. I'm enjoying the emotional roller coaster of old man Kiryu just trying to make things make sense. And the whole time the criminal element's like, no, but be a Yakuza again though. I mean, the Tojo clan's been replaced with new people, and they're like, oh yeah, your time is over, old man. And Kiryu's like, I don't fucking care. I don't care about any of this shit. Just leave me and my girl alone. And then Kiryu leaves the threat. He's like, if I find out that you try to drag me or Haruka into your bullshit, I will break everything you have. And the slick newcomer is like, yeah, whatever, Dragon and Dojima. That doesn't mean shit for new Yakuza guys like me.
The way you're characterizing him, I half expected you to be all like, dragging him my dick.
I mean, pretty much, that's how he's acting. Like, he has that smug appearance on. He's got the slick back hair, and he's like, oh yeah, Dragon and Dojima, what a big title. Well, things have changed now, old man. And Kiryu, again, it would be one thing if Kiryu gave a shit, but it's so obvious he doesn't give a shit. Like, dude, I don't care about being a Yakuza. I don't care about this shit. I've done my time. I've done my dirt. I went to jail. To just, not for you guys, but for my daughter Haruka. I don't give a shit anymore. I just want to be left alone. And this dude's trying to like have a dick measuring contest with Kiryu. Like, fucking old school. And then he says, we don't even care about you, Dragon and Dojima. We got bigger things to fry. It's like, okay, fine. Have your little gang war with the triads. Just keep. I find out you brought Haruka in there.
Have you done the side stories yet? Sub stories yet, Del?
I have done I did the one about, well, I'm in the middle of the one where, you know, that Haruka fan, that little girl wants a picture of Haruka, and I went through where to get the information to where to get the picture, but I haven't finished that yet. I've done a few trouble missions, or Tribble.
Yeah, what do you think of the Troubler app?
I failed the first one about that woman that was gonna fall off the roof. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I didn't know what to do. So I failed that one. But it was like, oh, she just, you know, she only sprained her ankle or something. But still, it's too bad no one was there to help her. And I was like, where the fuck was I supposed to go?
Oh,
like,
no.
I didn't have any instructions.
I remember they tell you, like, what street it's on, and then, like, when you get close, it becomes way more obvious.
No, yeah, it starts. No, yeah, it starts once you look, but then when I looked, I was like, okay, these are the batting cages, where I don't know how that's going to lead me up to where she is.
Oh, I remember that one. You got to go up the stairs in the back of the batting cages.
Okay, see, that was my problem, because I kept looking around and I didn't see anything, so I was like, where do I go? And so the woman fell on that one, and I was like, oh, well, she didn't die or anything, but it's too bad no one was there, and I'm like, Stop reminding me I failed. Okay. I've gone to the gym, and I enjoy that shit. And
you enjoy the Rise app?
Yeah, I like that, because when you do the before and after pictures of Kiryu, he looks so sad. He looks so sad in the beginning. even though he looks the exact same, like there's no real difference because Kiryu is Kiryu.
Yeah.
But he like slumps over in the before image, and he's got like a sad face on, and then the after one, he's like putting his hands on his hip, and he's like, yeah.
Hands on your
I look
hips.
so different.
Yeah, hands on your hips exudes confidence. It's scientifically proven.
I like how the fucking trainer sometimes recommends fried chicken and some beer, and that'll help you make gains.
Well, you know, it depends on what kind of diet you asked him for. If you're trying to, like, be more muscular, he has to recommend something with lots of protein. God damn it.
And there is a basis in that. Basically, if you're trying to gain weight for a healthy way, like, okay, I need to gain more mass so I can mold more muscle, basically, nutritionists will suggest that you up your carbs and stuff. And since beer is empty calories, like, you know, people say don't drink a lot of beer because it makes you fat. Like, it's kind of like that, where you give yourself a shit ton of empty calories, but you do it in moderation, in sync with your workouts.
Yeah.
Because now you're just giving yourself more mass for more muscle. So let's say you needed to cut weight, well, then you don't do that. You stick to more water and stick to more like aerobic stuff to burn through your fat. But if you want to build more weight, then it's like, okay, you need to slowly add more to your diet and then beef that up, because otherwise then it's just going to be flubber. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but Flubber was a good movie.
And then there's that, I mean, hell, I think there's even a manga series now. I don't know what it's called, but basically it's kind of like how heavy are your barbells or whatever.
Oh,
or
yeah,
your dumbbells.
It's also got an anime at this point. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift?
No, yeah, but there's a new one that's kind of like that, except it talks about the physical attributes of sex and the exercise that it can give you. So it literally goes through like a whole bunch of details of stuff where it's like, yeah, this is actually helpful. Like, people joke, oh, sex is the best exercise. It's like, well, actually there's truth to some of that.
Well,
like
yeah,
the
it's
process
cardio,
of
at
sex and
least.
everything. There's cardio, there's lower muscle buildup, and you increase your flexibility when you like try different things. Oh yeah, it's awesome. And I had just found out about that from this YouTuber, Jax Blade. He's just a black weeb that does this series called Tough Like the Tunes, where he'll do workout regimens that sync up with some of the body types or things of anime characters.
So has he done Saitama's workout?
He's done Saitama, he's done Goku, he's done Yujiro from Baki. He's done a lot of stuff. Like, and he's a legit nutritionist and a fitness instructor, so he knows about this stuff. And so it's really cool. I even like did one of his regimens just for like a couple months, and I did end up getting way more definition. So I would really, if you ever just thought, because he's also really good at just like talking about beginner stuff, like, well, if you have no experience with anything, here's a good thing to do or something like that. And also, he's just a very cheerful guy.
I enjoy
like you'd
cheerful.
expect a black weeb to be.
Yeah.
You didn't know about Jax Blade before, Josh?
I did not know about Jax Blaze, or however he said it.
Blade.
Jax Blade.
Yeah,
I did
Jax
not know.
Blade. He pops up on a lot of different like comment threads and different videos, and people always say, "Holy shit, it's you!" And he even made a video not too long ago. It's like, okay, people keep saying, "Why do I keep seeing you everywhere?" It's like, guys, we're into the same shit.
Yeah, I hate those comments.
Holy shit, it's you, guy who from this gaming channel? Why are you watching the best friends play? Wow, I wonder. Maybe they also like this video game and also like the best friends. Did you think about that? Did you think about it?
Of course you didn't. You didn't think at all. I really hate those comments. I've always hated those comments.
And they're not as annoying as the whole first people.
Yeah, well, those people have died off. There's only
Not
like...
really.
Why do I keep seeing those cockroaches everywhere then?
Well, like, I say they died off. I mean, like, they're almost gone. There's almost none of them anymore. Even on videos, because, like, some of the channels I watch are not that popular, so it's real easy to get first there. So even on videos where, like, there literally is a first comment, A lot of the time I don't see people like that anymore.
People like that, those kind.
You know the ones.
We don't really call them people anymore, as our dear Efren says.
Yeah, he does a lot of, he could never be a politician. He would make so many, like, flubs.
What are you talking about? He'd be an excellent politician. He stutters so much you don't even know what he's talking about half the time.
Yeah, good point.
Someone's gonna take his words and say, I like him, and that's all it takes.
I hate that you're right. I tried to make
I'm
a
always
joke.
right.
I tried to make a joke about politics and it failed because, like, everyone would do that eventually. Also, I just died. Like, this dungeon is the worst dungeon to start the stream on, because this is, like, it's just really hard dungeon. I've died, like, 5 times already. Maybe more.
Well, you know, death is part of life. It's very good. It's educational, even.
Yeah, this game also doesn't really penalize you that much. If you die and select continue, you start from the beginning of that room in the dungeon with all the enemies that you already killed still dead. And all the loot that you've picked up so far still picked up.
Well, it is a kids game.
Yeah.
The wee babies.
Yeah. Well, you know, I originally played it when I was like 10 or 12. And it was very chill. It's the art style that would grab me back then. Well, the art style and the fact that it was Final Fantasy. Because I was new to Final Fantasy back then, and Final Fantasy IX was the first one I played, and the art director for this one is the same guy who did Final Fantasy IX.
Interesting. So what you're telling me is this Final Fantasy weeb stuff is Final Fantasy weeb stuff.
Definitely.
So, I want to bring it back to Yakuza a little bit.
Alright.
Please do.
So,
how much do you know about Yakuza 0, Del? All of it, or difference?
I know pretty much a good chunk of everything. Like, I do remember the whole storyline for Majima, Kiryu, so a good chunk of it I know. You'll probably know more than me, because I haven't played it in a minute, but go on.
So remember that guy who admitted to being a guy that makes immigrant women into prostitutes?
Oh yeah. I
the
think it was
pizza
Oda.
side.
The Oda guy.
Oda, for that one. That's why Oda showed up.
See, and it's stuff like that where you can be like, Kiryu, you can understand why people are a little hesitant with you taking care of children, right? You can understand why some people look at you and say,
And the fucking best friends called it when Oda was making his sacrifice. Kiryu's gonna be like, oh man, Oda was a hero. He was a fucking hero.
He helped me, so therefore he was a hero. No, Kiryu, that's not how that works.
Heroism.
That's not how any of that works, Kiryu.
I'm just imagining...
Kiryu is on this weird... Kiryu's on this weird spectrum where he's both a horrible Yakuza, but he's not an actual, like, perfectly good person. It's like, he clearly has more morals than an actual criminal is supposed to, which is why he sucks at being a Yakuza. But
he
at the same time,
believes
it's like,
the
Kiryu,
whole honor shtick, even though no one else does.
yeah, it's like, but Kiryu, you're involved with so many shady people, and you legit love these people like they're your family. And it's like, Kiryu, you can't endorse people like this and then say, but I'm a good guy. It's like, no, Kiryu, that's not how that works.
Kiryu got canceled on Twitter because they had pictures of him hanging out with Oda back in the 80s.
Okay, this is why I honestly say I like protagonists that don't just forgive you for shit.
Like good old Gatsu.
Or a fucking interesting take, or a weird different take would be Asta from Black Clover, even though I just kind of skimmed through it. Asta from Black Clover is attacking this villain, right? And he's gonna be like, you're gonna pay for your crimes for the rest of your miserable life and make up for it in by piece by bloody piece. And it's like this isn't fucking Naruto.
Did he actually say that?
Yes,
Yeah.
he looked at the screen and said, "This isn't Naruto, kids." No, yeah, it's stuff like that where, because then that's one of the things about any protagonist where you always worry about, do people understand that there are different lines? Like, you don't have to be an edgy boy or a complete loser pacifist that doesn't understand the concept of punishment. Like, there's grays in between. You know, context matters. Punishment should fit the crime. If a hero usually doesn't kill, but they make an exception because of one of the worst scumbags on the planet, and they make a punishment appropriate for that person, then you should leave it at that. It shouldn't be, why didn't they just kill him? Why didn't you just kill him off? Man, this is so unrealistic. If I were there, I'd have done this. Yeah, you would have done it. But you're not the main character, are you,
If you were
sir?
there, you would have died, because you're not the main character.
Well, yeah, exactly. You wouldn't have even made it this long.
Yeah. So, eventually the villain does go to jail, and he goes, "Hey, this is the part where it kind of ruined it for me." The villain goes, "Hey, after I made up for my crimes, can I be your friend?" And after
Fuck
it's like,
you.
he's like, "Yes." And
That's
I'm like,
such a shonen thing.
Where did this go?
Yeah, that's
Why?
such a shonen thing. We have to have you be a friend.
Series.
That's another issue where, huh?
I was gonna say, having a contact in the criminal underworld could prove very advantageous down the line.
No, yeah, I was about to say that. That's another issue with a lot of like shonen stuff where it's like you have a legit bad guy who has been defeated by the hero, and instead of killing, or even if they don't, whatever they do, and they're like, "I'm done with you," they always leave that bit of a thread where it's like, "You might be my loose companion." And there's that annoying thing. It's like that Joker and Akechi shit we were talking about with Persona, where it's like they don't really have a lot. They don't really have a lot in common, Joker and Akechi. They keep pretending they do, but they don't.
Yeah.
And they act like they have this big bond, even though they really fucking don't. But they hang on to that connection because, one, it's good for shipping. And then on top of that, anytime Joker needs to do something kind of ambiguous or something that might skirt the line for his morals, guess what? He doesn't have to do it. Akechi will.
Yeah.
So it's like, we have to say that you're friends with the villain, so if you can't do the bad thing, the villain can do it for you.
Joker, someone has to murder this baby. And Joker's just standing
I can't
there
do
like...
that.
Akechi runs
Yeah.
up.
No, yeah, it's kind of like that, where I won't do the bad thing, but you'll do the bad thing, so I'm gonna say he's my friend, or he's my ally, or I understand you, even though, realistically, no, you don't.
I really
Wow.
fucking hate Akechi. I'm sorry.
I had to take a look at myself regarding Joker and Akechi, and I was like, if he looked like fucking Spec from Baki as a teenager, would I still like him?
I love that Spec is your favorite character. You're like, if this was Spec, would I care for him?
He has to. Well, the answer is he has to be as badass like Spec.
Oh,
and
then that's
do,
not
like,
gonna
crazy
happen.
things- crazy things. But no, Akechi as looking like Spec would. I'd be like, man, fuck Akechi.
So basically,
I want-
like, Spec is like the image you imagine to test if you are being misled by the Bishi.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, because his Akechi's personality is only acceptable to me because, I could ship him with Joker.
Yeah, it's literally, and why do you ship him with Joker? Because even when people try to say, oh, because of their personalities, no, you ship them because of Akechi's looks. Akechi looks like a bitch boy. He looks like a little bitch boy, a little
He looks like
femi boy
Teenage Light from Death Note.
Yeah, he looks like someone who the fans can make a lot of femme art of, a lot of cross-dressing art of, or him and Joker together. If Akechi was ugly, if there was any unlikable feature on Akechi that didn't make him look shippable, guess what? All that quote-unquote complexity of his personality goes out the window because no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
That's all it always comes down to. People pretend that it's deeper than that, but it really isn't.
Beauty is only skin deep, and video games are beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah, Ketchy is too much of an edgy boy. That's why I never took him seriously, even in Persona 5 before Royal. It's just,
Yeah.
oh, I think that me and you could be great rivals, even friends. I'm like, boy, fuck off. I'm looking at you, I'm not looking at you.
Royal is the only version that I've played, and even before I got to the...
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, even before I got to the content that's exclusive to Royal, I did not like Akechi. Like, before I got his S-link high up, I hated him because he was fake, or he seemed fake, and then he confirmed that he was fake. And then I got those last two, and then he threw his
glove at you.
Yeah, like, he confirmed that he was fake, and I'm like, I hate you more now. And then I got those last two on the boat because I got high enough. And I'm like, why, video game? Why are you trying to make me like him? It's
because
not gonna
you're
work.
Supposed to like him. He's young and he's been tortured just like you guys.
Joker is young and has been tortured. I like Joker. I already have Joker.
No, you should like Akechi too.
No, I already have
Love
Joker.
Akechi.
Fuck you,
You
game.
don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. The Phantom Thief said, "Oh man, Akechi, you don't have to go down this path. We could work together." So now you have no choice but to work with him.
The Phantom Thieves said, "Here, Akechi, have some pancakes."
And then he was triggered ever since.
Yeah.
I feel like that would mean
King.
Akechi would hate Mona more than anyone else. Because it was Mona that said it, and he heard that. So if it was never from Mona speaking, Akechi would have never gave them the hint that he knows something he shouldn't know.
To be fair, a lot of bad things could be avoided. Yeah. A lot of bad things could be avoided if Mona didn't speak.
Mona is a good son. He's a good son. He's just spoiled.
Yeah, I actually do really like the character, but like I wanted to make a joke.
I still would have liked to kick his ass when he started acting like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you keep making fun of your my husband Ryuji. We're gonna beat you up. Your dads are gonna beat you up, Mona, until you act right.
Yeah, like I don't like the way they constantly shit on Ryuji.
Yeah, the Phantom Thieves act like he's too stupid, even though all of them are stupid. Because keep in mind, they keep using the same hideouts until the game literally forces them to be smart and find another place to hide out and meet up with. Like, oh, we're gonna meet on the abandoned roof where it would be suspicious that we're hanging out. Makoto catches us. Oh, we're gonna keep hanging out in the subway thing where a bunch of people are walking by and could hear us talk. The police finally start listening in. Oh shit, we should move.
Oh, damn
like they only move around when they have no option. It's like, all of you are idiots. If I was in charge, I would have said, no, we're speaking about this shit in my house in private.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, when they finally do, like, just have the house, that's the point where they've already invited Akechi.
The devil's already there in the room.
The fucking Dracula is in your house with you.
And now he knows where you live. He knows where Joker sleeps. He knows that where you guys live. He knows where you're gonna leave.
He knows
could just
if you've
stay
been
back
bad or
and
good.
shoot Joker. You could just shoot Joker and leave.
Or he could just bring an AK under his heavy clothing and just like, okay, problem solved. Nobody's gonna ever link me with justice for this.
Yeah.
Both on my side.
Yeah. That was another thing me and you, Eric, had a problem where it was like, some of the things the Phantom Thieves, when they save people, it makes sense. Like, oh, you can't go to the cops for this because no one's going to believe them. But then you have some stuff that has nothing to do with the Phantom Thieves, nothing to do with anything, and it's like, no, just call the fucking cops. Futaba's best friend getting molested and abused on stream. How is that not just a case of FBI open up? We don't need the Phantom Thieves. We just call cops for that.
No, but remember that the fucking Phantom Thieves are constantly saying that cringy line, those rotten adults. Rotten adults!
Which is stupid. Oh, Joker, these are all rotten adults. Funny, why do you keep trying to fuck all these older women? Oh, no, those are good, though.
I'm trying to purify them, Ryuji.
I'm pretty sure that's what Joker believes. No, I'm helping save the world by giving them my purity. You don't understand, Ryuji. I'm taking one for the team here. That's why I let Takemi put me under all those times in her hospital with just us together. That's why I'm fucking my teacher. That's why I tried to fuck Makoto's sister, but it didn't happen. I'm helping the world, Ryuji.
Irredeemable, Ryuji. We have to kill her.
She won't take my penis. She has to die. She needs her heart stolen, Ryuji. No, Ryuji, listen to me. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about.
Joker,
let's go into her mindscape. Let's just go into her palace, and we need to fix her, because she won't take my dick.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I just realized the way, like, stealing hearts work, if Joker was not a hero, that is actually something he could pull off. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because think about it. The whole premise of Persona 5 is like, only people who are twisted have palaces, and the Phantom Thieves come and steal their treasure, which changes them and makes them better. And even when you don't do that to like your confidants, the social links is pretty much I'm breaking you down and making you quote unquote into a better person, which also, guess what? Now that I've defrosted you and helped you out with your shit, you're now more likely to fall in love with me if I want to go for a romance option. So imagine if Joker took the logic of, okay, I've done all this stuff with Sei in the interrogation room, now we're gonna get together. And the option never comes up. He's like, no, something's wrong with Sei. She's broken. I need to fix her. Ryuji, we need to go back in her palace and fix her, because she won't take my dick. And Ryuji's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. Ryuji, look at me.
You can tag team Ryuji.
Yeah, Ryuji, I'll let you hit too. Ryuji, hit me. And Ryuji's like, dude, what are you talking about? What makes you think something's wrong with her? Like, Ryuji, I'm beautiful. I am a beautiful man. You know I have a harem of bitches already. And Sei doesn't want to fuck me. Clearly that means something's wrong with her. We need to fix her. Like, if she won't take my dick, she needs to be saved.
You mentioned a minute ago how, like, Yusuke was better than Akechi. I agree wholeheartedly. And I like I like how they have this fucking thing going where he's literally a starving artist. Like, one of the fucking...
But it's his own fault.
Yeah, one of the fucking dialogues when you're driving around in Mementos, he mentions how he got some top-quality bread crust. I'm like, what fucking Olive Garden dumpster did you find that in, Yusuke?
Nah, Yusuke's a good boy. He just needs someone to just watch him. Pretty much. Like, Yusuke's the kind of person you have to watch him forever. You have to watch him. You can't ever leave him alone. He's gonna die.
Like, if Joker wasn't there, I feel like Yusuke and Futaba would be a good pair. Because they're both, like, recluses, but she remembers to eat at least...
people ship them. People ship them together.
Yeah, I've seen the comic where she's commissioning him to draw her OC. Even when they're in their 30s together.
And there's one where Futaba is knocking on Yusuke's door. I think it was like the dancing games or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Futaba's knocking on Yusuke's door to tell him to get ready for the next set. And Yusuke walks out in just his boxers. And he's not even paying attention to the idea that he's literally bare naked in front of Futaba. And Futaba's just staring at him and just... face red, but then she's like, nope, nothing, never mind, just telling you to get ready, and literally she's walking away with the biggest nosebleed. And plus, pretty much she does, Yusuke is the one that Futaba messes with the most. Like, stupid Inari, stupid fox, yeah, it's like, okay, Futaba, I get it. He's a pretty boy, I understand you want him. We'll give him to you. He's not like he'll understand the concept of romance anyway. It's like, Joker, it's my 18th birthday. What did you get me? I just pick up Yusuke and I put a bow on him. I'm like, here you go. Here's your present.
She loves
You can now do whatever you want with him. And then, like, Sojiro pulls a gun out and looks at Yusuke and says, if you make one problem, if I hear one tear from her, you're dead.
Dream on your own time.
Oh, I love it.
Persona.
Oh, God, Persona's great.
It is. Ryuji is the best bro out of all of the bros in the fucking 3 to 5 series because Junpei's a jealous bitch who's mad that he's not the main character. Yosuke is kind of like that. He's just as jealous of you, but he doesn't outright say it until you get through his like social link. And he's like, yeah, I've always kind of been jealous of you. But Ryuji has no problem with Joker being better than him. If anything, he knows Joker's better than him, and he kind of appreciates that. Because he's like, yeah, man, you help me out with my shit, I help you out with your shit. You know, I like you, man. I like you. I don't have any problems with you. He doesn't have any problems with Joker. He just wants acceptance.
So, on my screen right now, this motherfucker who's traveling with another group of caravanners is about to be abandoned in the middle of nowhere. In this world where, like, poisonous mist will kill you if you're not next to a crystal.
That sounds about right.
Like, they're mad at him for leading them on wild goose chases. But, spoiler alert, he's actually right.
My name is...
So it's a Cassandra Truth thing.
Yeah. Also, his name is Gertie. He's the brother of Hurdy, that other guy I met on the riverbank in last episode.
Someone actually called their child Gertie and Hurdy.
They're actually the same person.
Okay, so whoever named him that needs to be abandoned.
Yeah.
Say, how about a poem? Lightning brings the cactus pain.
That's why I said with Eric during some of the streams, it's like he talks about a lot of the more open stuff where there's enough to really like think about. Like, oh yeah, there is a lot of shit in Persona where you can be like, this is some weird shit. Like when you mentioned like the weird way the bosses act to the women.
Yeah.
It's like, why are they like this?
Like that, what, Eric?
Did you notice that all the bosses have problems with women?
Oh, yes, I did. The worst one for me was, the first boss in Haru's palace, her fiance robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I'm a pervy dude. I'll admit it. I watch anime, and there's lots of explicitly high school aged girls that are like, you know, fan servicey camera angles in anime. But
don't you
like,
want to stick your dick in them?
I'm not gonna fucking like be all like, oh boy, a high school child bride, what a turn on, you know, like that boss, that boss might as well be saying a fucking high school sex slave. The way he's talking.
That's what the dad said.
Sugawara, or whatever his name was, is basically Kamoshida Junior Light Fuckboy.
Yeah, he's just fuckboy. We don't even need to remember his name.
Yeah, like, that's why I'm not remembering his name. I'm just remembering that he's, like, Haru's fiancé.
You said a fun fact?
Yeah, fun fact, that guy's voice actor is Churno's voice actor in JoJo Part 5.
Oh shit, I remember you telling me that.
No wonder he was such a fuckboy.
The English dub.
No wonder he was such a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Dad is just like, oh yeah, Haru, you're a piece of property for me to sell to make this business arrangement. And then even in his palace, the dad's like, I don't give a fuck. You can keep her as a legit slave, like a sex toy. I don't even fucking care as long as we make this business plan. So it's just so blatant that he's like, you are nothing to me, young girl. You are scrap. I throw you and sell you like meat. Kamoshida,
I made you,
I'm a loser.
and I can also destroy you.
Kamoshida, I'm a failure now, and all I am is just a gym teacher when I used to kind of have my highlight in the back in the day, and, well, I'm frustrated and angry with my life. I know, I'll just take it out on these children. Hey, Mishima, come here so I can punch you. Hey, what's Anne's friend's name? I'm mad that I couldn't Yeah, I'm mad I couldn't romance her because she was cute. It's just like, hey, you come over here and you let me abuse you too. If only Anne would let me fuck her, then I wouldn't be doing this to you. I wouldn't keep hurting you if Anne would let me fuck her. You should just tell her to let me fuck her.
The fact that the fact that like the Kamoshida boss fight has Shizui show up, and you gotta like either out DPS Kamoshida or hit Shizui, and Shizui dies in one hit even from your weakest character, or at least she did for me. Like, oh shit, I feel real bad about that. I didn't like that.
Yeah, she set up that way. Yeah. And again, that's just how Kamoshida sees it, so he's like, I can do this. I'm the best. I'm awesome. And that's why I always made sure I was being as petty as I could be as Joker. Like, Kamoshida sees you in the hallway, and it's like, what do you want? It's like, you have a very nice spike. I'm just saying, you have a very nice volley spike, sir. Or just keep talking as much shit to him, because I know how the game's going to go. I have to progress, so I'll just keep talking shit to Kamoshida the whole time. And just watching him get frustrated at a high school student.
Yeah.
You stupid brats. You stupid...
When I was very cautious at first, but then when I realized that the only time my choices matter is during the fucking S-Link conversations, I just started going balls out, like, just shit-talking everybody.
I just want to bring it back a little bit to the reason why Shizui is so weak.
She's sick.
It's because, that you guys know that that's how Kamoshida views her. Any attack from you or him will just destroy her in one blow.
Yeah.
Is it a male thing?
What happened?
I was about to say, is it a male thing? Because I'm pretty sure, because you only have like you, Ryuji, Morgana, and Anne. I know Anne can never strike her. Like, she can't bring herself to do that. And you, Ryuji, can. And I know Mona can, but I think that it's like a male thing? I don't know. Now, maybe I'm diving too deep on it.
It could be, actually, because he views women as just playthings and weak, and if like, Makoto was there, maybe she would be, like, resistant to Makoto.
Yeah, and I think it's also how Kamoshida sees her, because, again, it's kind of back and forth, like, he abused her to make her seem
God, not these fuckers again.
And weak. Scared and cowardly and weak, especially around guys. So again, maybe I was just reaching, but I think that might be part of it. Because,
Go ahead.
No, I was done with my thing. I thought you just said reach. You said maybe you.
Too, and go like, I think I want to know why Kamoshida never went after Makoto, and I think it's probably because Makoto is actually strong-willed.
Yes.
And Kamoshida only picks on people that are far weaker than him.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's a multi-thing. For one, Makoto is definitely more strong-willed. Or let's not even say that, because you know none of the adults care about the students or pay attention to them. I don't even think it's her strong-will that he noticed. I think it's literally because she's just too much of a high-risk factor. She's the star pupil of the school. If anything happened to her, people are going to pay attention, you know?
Also her lawyer sister.
Exactly, her lawyer sister. So I feel like Kamoshida, I don't even think he looked at Makoto for her traits, like, oh, she's a more strong person, you know, she'll be more resistant. No, I think it's literally, he says, oh, I could abuse this little bitch just like everyone else, but it's too much of a hassle. But
it's dangerous.
She already has a lot of rumors, a lot of people calling her slutty because of her appearance, and a lot of people thinking that she's loose and easy. So Kamoshida's like, I could do anything to this bitch, and who's she gonna talk to? Who is she gonna go to? No one's gonna buy her shit. They're gonna think, oh, you tried to flirt with Mr. Kamoshida and he turned you down. Whatever, bitch.
I like how when she gets her persona, she fucking, like, one-hands that giant sword and kills her shadow self in one hit.
Or his image of her, yeah.
Cognition, yeah. Her cognitive self.
Yeah.
I forget the words. Sorry for the cough.
Yeah. Nah, Ringen coughs like 100 times.
Yeah, I don't know why I've been coughing lately. I'm not sick. I think
this.
I think it's just the time of year. Like, either that or, like, I've been cooped up inside that, like, I've gotten even weaker and my fucking... the dust in my house is what's making me cough, maybe? I don't fucking know.
There's only one thing to do. 500 handstand push-ups now.
I'm in the middle of a thing, but maybe later.
You can do them both at the same time.
I can't do that.
How can you not, Joshua?
I'm weak.
I trained you for this.
I must have slept through that. I would have remembered spending time with you. You're cool.
Oh, he's cool, huh? Not I, Eric.
Yeah, what you trying to say about the rat?
Eric, you know you're cool. I hang out with you all the time. I wouldn't do that if you weren't cool.
No, I know what it is, Eric. He's saying, "Oh, Dill, you're cool," but Eric, I don't count you because you're cute. You know, I don't want to get all embarrassed. Man, there's a lot of stuff like that because I think that's the main thing that drew me into the Persona series, because a lot of their themes are they have to be kind of easy for people to get. So then when you start reaching for the nuances, you're like, oh, this is pretty deep, and this is some parts that's kind of... But again, it never goes overboard. It's still just a fucking harem game, RPG. Yeah. You get to be the big badass main character going against the bad people and beating a god to tell God
I love killing God.
What did God do to you today?
He created me.
How dare you? No, that was your mama. You ask your mama why. Mom, why would you do this? Why would you doom the earth to have me?
Look, man. God knew what he was doing when he, saw the blueprint and saw that I was flawed, but he still went ahead with the production.
Well, what do you want me to do? Stop the production? Do you know how much time that takes to turn the button off? Fuck it.
Look, I saw the Hulk movie. He only wasted $500,000 to stop the assembly line.
Yeah, well, I'm not spending that. You know how much that converts to heaven bucks?
It's
almost as much as bison dollars. I'm not gonna waste bison dollars.
Of course!
But I love how stupid he is and how cheesy he is.
Like in one version, he's like...
And then we go to fucking Street Fighter V where I have satellite moons in the sky that's gonna make me a god, and then I'm gonna fuck the earth with my psycho powers. Like, Bison, what do you want?
He's gonna piss on the moon.
In life, sir? What is your actual goal for anything?
What wasn't the organization originally called Shadow Law anyway?
Yes.
Why do they call it Shadow Law?
I think that's also the name of his martial art, Shadow Luism or some shit like that.
They say that wicked.
And then you have Chun-Li, who never gets to actually beat Bison ever, except in that one awful Chun-Li movie.
Hey, look, man, it was Tuesday.
Literally every time Chun-Li tries to stick to her canon thing of Bison killed my dad, I'm coming after Bison, it's literally, well, too bad you're not gonna beat him. And it's the same thing for Guile. You killed my partner, I'm coming for you, Bison. Well, I can't be useful, too bad I'm Guile, I can't beat Bison. Let's call that Karate Hobo Ryu to do it for us.
Everyone loves Karate Hobo Ryu.
They didn't go all the way with that. He has this clean face in 5. You should have left him with the shaggy beard, so at least now he looks a little different. Something cool.
Yeah,
but Ryu's just there.
Yeah.
And the whole game's hyping Charlie up. It's like, Charlie Nash, you're the one that's going to take Bison down. You're going to get your revenge on Bison. Everyone's hyping him up, and he's getting ready to do it. And then it goes all the way to the end. He does his big sacrifice. Bison survives. Then fucking Ryu just comes in for the last thing, and he's like, yep, I'm still the hero. It's got to be me doing it. I'm the only one allowed to beat Bison.
Kiryu runs
either me
in
or Akuma.
Yeah, Kiryu runs in at the very end, and I said Kiryu. Oh, god damn it.
If Kiryu was in the series, it wouldn't have lasted that long.
Yeah, because he would have solved all the problems a long time ago.
What do you mean you don't beat people into a coma with bats? Don't you know that's how you beat people?
I would love to see Kiryu in a fighting game, but the director says no because Kiryu doesn't want to hit women.
I mean, he slapped Haruka. If that doesn't count as hitting women, I don't know what will.
Haruka wasn't a woman, she was a girl.
Nah. Kiryu, if he can hit Haruka, he can hit women. And She did that of her own volitions, and then she fought back against Kiryu.
Look, all I'm saying is that Kiryu's quarter circle forward would be respect women.
Okay, I'll respect you and then tiger drop you in a respectful manner. And then after the fight is over, I'll say, you really shouldn't have challenged me. And then walk away.
Have you played Kiwami 2?
I have not, but I do have that on the docket to download. Is that the one with the weird blonde-haired asshole with the giant sword that's just super aggressive?
Ryuji
Yes.
Goda, yeah. Dragon versus
Why is
dragon.
it always Ryuji? It's
well,
always that kind of name.
well, for
That's Ryu in it, which means dragon, so...
yeah, he's
Yeah,
Dragon
I know,
of
it's
Kansai.
just- There's always that kind of name for that, because there was a dude in fucking No More Heroes called Ryuji, and he was the dude Travis fought that he actually respected. He was like, oh, he was a real warrior. It's like, what is with this name? Anyway, his
It
name's
means dragon.
Ryuji.
That's what it.
So
That's why.
So now the Yakuza raised children will grow up into Yakuza raised teens, and name their children Ryuji and Kiryu. Just like the fucking kid at GameStop got called Sora and Kairi.
Oh god.
Remember that, boys?
I don't remember that, but I do. I do remember seeing a like Twitter or Reddit post or something where someone who worked somewhere, like, it was a teacher. It was a kindergarten teacher, and the parents of these kids that they were signing up for their class this year, two brothers named Sora and Riku.
Oh yeah, Sora and Riku.
Like, holy shit,
And-
those parents, those monsters.
Like, even if you go to Japan, they'll be like fucking disgusted. Like, why did you name your children? You're not even Chinese or Asian or Japanese.
Yo,
Don't worry about it.
ain't right. How you gonna name your baby that name?
Like, the Japanese are looking at you like, you dishonor us with your gift.
The Japanese would look at me with frustration and confusion.
'Cause you're
what
so
are
tall?
you? Not even that. Like, what are you? I'm a black guy. What is this black you speak of? Tell
There was
me
only one
more.
black person before you. You stole all our pies.
No, there were two.
we don't talk about that guy.
There were two black people. You're forgetting Yasuke.
Everyone forgets Yasuke.
Yeah,
It's like,
now-
oh, we don't understand. And they
Now
say,
that-
oh, you must be black. All the signs are there. Your skin and your hair is the exact same way as the other guy. All blacks have that hairstyle, correct? No, we don't all have dreads. It's just a popular thing. It's like, you're not born with those? No, we're not born with those.
You could, like, walk them up to the statue of Yasuke that they have in Japan. And be all like, this is the natural look.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. Are you sure that your kind aren't just born with those? No, sir. It's a hairstyle. We have to style them like that.
Maybe it's
Are
Maybelline.
you sure? Are you very sure? Is it also true that you're here to eat our women? Okay, no, I wasn't
The other
on my
thing.
docket when I came here for tourism, but you know, I just wanted to see the sights.
The women.
No, sir, I didn't say. Why are you putting words in my mouth? And if I raise my voice even a little bit, no, sir, don't take your anger out on me. No.
Fucking Junior goes to Japan, just like gets off the plane. Where the white one at?
That's how they always expect. Like, what do you mean? Are you here to eat our women? It's just like the anime Hajime no Ippo when that American came over.
I don't know what anime this is, but like the best like depiction of an American I've ever seen in an anime is this like Elvis impersonator, like giving these kids like hot dogs loaded down with way too much ketchup and mustard, and like speaking with a lot of unnecessary profanity.
Because it's like the exaggeration is really just because of the fact of there's some truth to it where it's like, yeah, our portions are way bigger in the West than over there. And, you know, there is a lot of people who do play up to the whole, oh yeah, let's eat to the biggest extreme. Let's make the biggest burger or the biggest portion for no fucking reason. It's like, what's that fucking restaurant that people say encourages obesity because of the huge ass portions and the gigantically stupid sized food? No. It's a single restaurant, and I forgot the name of it, but basically going there is a guaranteed heart attack. Yeah. I think that's what it is, and it's literally everyone's like, "This is stupid. If you go here, you're trying to kill yourself. Why are you going here?" And people say
give up a lot chasing it. Oh shit!
It's like it's irresponsible for you to be making this. It's irresponsible for you to be cooking this food when you know people are gonna do that. It's like, well, we don't force you idiots to eat it. Just stop eating it.
It's irresponsible to cook this food when you know people are gonna eat it.
No, that's how that works. Now, if the idiots don't know what self-control is and don't know how to take care of themselves, then, they're not. That's their own fault.
Like, I am someone who laments most of the American stereotypes, but at the same time, when I see like a big ass fucking burger with like 3 patties stacked on top of each other and like dripping with bacon grease and melted cheese, and the buns are donuts, I'm like, yeah, I want to try that.
I can't do donuts. I can't do anything that's too sweet.
Oh,
like the
really?
first time I heard about fucking deep fried Oreos, and I said, what the fuck is this shit? They're like, yeah, man, deep fried Oreos, that's a thing over here. And I was like, I looked around in confusion. I said, who thought of this? Aren't cookies sweet enough? Why do you want to dip them in batter and shit? It was like, nah, you know, it's really sweet, it's really awesome. Don't you want one? I said, fuck no. Like, I was confused, and my dad said, yeah, Fidel, you're gonna have to get used to that.
You were
that's
scared.
Food. The people around here.
I'm sorry, I mean, is it like your teeth are like way more sensitive or something, or what?
Nah, just like any kid, you know, you usually have no problem with sweets and stuff. It's just that as I got older, I just really lost any interest in it. Like, my sister loves chocolates and candies like that. I can have them, but I'm not to the point where, like, even cake, I don't really eat that much sweets and stuff like that. I just don't like sweets that much.
Yeah.
So the concept, and again, I still didn't, because I have no problem with junk food. Like, fuck, pizza is my favorite junk food of all time.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the best types of pizzas out there and stuff, so I have no issue with junk food. It's just the idea of, no, this junk food isn't junk food enough. We need to do more to make it more junk food. It's like cookies, Oreos. Okay, people like Oreos. There's nothing wrong with Oreos. Cookies. Yeah, cookies. And then it's like, now let's dip that in some batter. Why? Why are we frying cookies?
I've never had any of that, like, I've never had any of that level stuff, but I would like to try it someday, you know? Just once.
Like, I was at a state fair, and I remember that's when I first discovered that. I was like, oh yeah, this is not bad, you know, I was eating a fucking burger, my friend was walking around, you know, just buying up every fucking thing at every stand. She comes over and she's like, hey Fidel, look, I got some fucking deep fried Oreos. I said, what the fuck did you just say to me? And she said, yeah, deep fried Oreos. And she's like waving in my face. I'm like, get that away from me. And then I was like, where'd you get that? Show me the stand. And I see a line of people waiting for the cookies to be dipped and battered and fried. And I was like, what's wrong with these people?
How old were you when that happened?
Like fucking, I think like maybe 13 or somewhere around that age, 13,
yeah,
15.
Yeah, that was what I was imagining. I was imagining like 14-year-old Dell. I don't know why I just assumed 14, but I was right.
I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And she knew, and she was loving the fact that I was confused, because she knew. She was like, oh yeah, this is gonna gross him out. And she waved that shit in my face. She said, yeah, Fidel, deep fried Oreo. She said, there's even deep fried ice cream. I said, what are you telling me? How does that even make sense? How do you deep fry ice cream?
If you do it fast enough, it stays cold.
That's what she said. Yeah, she said if you do it fast enough. I'm like, well, why would you do it?
For the sexual
like every
thrill.
every question I asked, she just kept on going.
It's like Joe Swanson said. You do it for the sexual thrill.
Oh Lord.
Like,
oh Lord.
That's not actually why. I just thought it would be funny to describe it as such. That's my go-to answer for any time, like, I don't actually have an answer. Just to quote Joe Swanson.
Okay, so that's your version of suck 'em off, like Efren. Or
No,
shut up from Rian.
No, because I only use it when it's actually an answer to a question. Like, why would you do that? And it's like some dumb thing that doesn't hurt anybody. For the sexual thrill.
Oh, are you trying to say that Efren just says suck 'em off for no reason?
Yes.
Are you trying to say that this man does not mean the things that he says?
No, I think he does mean them, but he just says them, like, completely independent of a ongoing conversation.
This is slander. This is slander.
Yeah, but it's
How
fun,
dare
right?
How dare you speak on Efren's name like that? He is a saint. Saint Efren. Mister, don't genocide all the elves. Some of them are very hot. We should keep them as slaves.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. Like, that's not even new. Like, he's said that, like, 2 or 3 times before I got kicked from the group. So I'm used to hearing that.
Not surprising.
Like, I think one of the times he said it is in one of my old streams, which... It's still real sad that I got scared. I was scared when Kappa happened and deleted all my old shit. And I realize now that I probably didn't need to, but it's too late now. There's so much of my old shit that, like, ain't ever coming back. I even did a whole stream of Final Fantasy IX, my favorite Final Fantasy. That one took a while, and near the end it got really shitty because, like, I had not level grinded enough off screen. I was able to get through, like, the final dungeon easily enough, but the final boss I died to several times, and it got to the point where I was, like, skipping through all the dialogue as fast as I could in, like, triple speed mode, because the HD remaster had that.
That's a good way to get through the fucking actual gameplay. It's like, okay, we all know what we're doing here, let me just skip through some of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was no cutscene skip, but there was triple speed, and, I used that for the dialogue.
Well, let's see, let me think. One thing that, I would say the one thing that's kind of only been of annoyance is the fact that, like I had just recently got into the whole D&D thing. And I was like, okay, this is very fun. The idea of just making a bunch of shitty OCs, throwing them in the bullshit, and then watching them die left and right. Very entertaining. And I was around the same time when my schedule started getting tighter, so obviously that meant we had less chances just to finish Sam's fucking one-off. Like, it's just a one-off right now for Sam. I know Grant's got one going on.
I thought y'all already finished that.
No, we're up to the boss fight now, where...
Oh, okay.
Here's what happened. Because here's what happened. Basically, it was a small little one-off dungeon place. We get a mission from a baron in a town, right, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we get a mission from this dude.
Wait,
my wife went to
is
this,
Eric still there?
Yeah, he's still here.
I can't hear him.
Eric, could you test to see if he can hear you?
Hey, guys?
I can hear him now.
No, yeah, Eric's still there. He just usually gets quiet when I'm on a tangent.
Oh, okay.
No, it's because my mom called and I'm talking to her right now.
Oh, my fault.
That's fine. I'll be right back.
Okay, so anyway, basically we get a mission from a bear, and it's like, okay, my wife has gone missing. The last time she went anywhere was at this castle for a diplomatic thing. Can you go find her? La la la. We go through the woods, well, first we go to a hotel to get and wake up, get the mission. Then we go to the actual place and we stop at first in the middle of the first enemy encounter with some zombies.
Yeah.
And after we did that, we stopped because it's like, all right, this is a good time to stop. Then we got to the more investigation stuff, like, okay, let's look around for clues and other stuff. And there was only 3 places to go: the kitchen, the library, and then a back room. So we went to the kitchen. Somebody's family member died here. Then we went to the library, and we look around the library, and we find like a little dagger that gives you dark vision if you don't have dark vision, basically, while you're holding it. So I was like, okay, I see that. We all passed it around, and then we scrambled to the back room where the castle baron is at now, or the dude that's the head of the house. And he's like sputtering like crazy, and me and Efren go into a back and forth. I thought I was just being comedic, but I think I accidentally hurt Efren's feelings because the whole time, like,
he has a thin skin. He takes things a little harder than he should.
Yeah, I think that he thought I was being like I was criticizing him when it was just my character kind of like being a shit. Because basically we got to the door of this dude, and because of all the dead bodies and stuff, we find out there was a curse that's been going on and there are monsters around, and he's rambling about the monsters. He's like the only survivor, and he says, oh, the worms, and then he's like, oh, I killed the old baron and all this other stuff, and he's insane. So we do a charisma roll to like calm him down. But then because me and Efren are both saying stupid shit, we're calming him down, but then we're scaring him again. And then we're calming him down, and then we're scaring him again. And so it was literally going up and down, and Sam's trying his hardest to like kind of railroad us into getting through this. And then here's where the linchpin happened. It was when Efren said, okay guys, let's talk over here. And he says we move away from the door for a second to talk. He forgets that the door is still open, like the dude can see us. And first of all, he knows we're there now, so it's not like he's not going to pay attention. So he can hear us, he can see us, and Efren says, okay, so do we have something to like restrain this guy or something? And then I'm just like, can we just kill this more? And he says, no, I want no destination. We go down there, and when we get down there, there are 2 giant...
only.
Yeah, there are 2 giant worms waiting for us and some zombies in there. And because it's really late, we stopped and we have not gone back since. And basically, Efren felt like, oh man, maybe I should write my character out. I was like, why? And it's like, because I feel like I was just making things more complicated than they needed to be. And it was like, well, isn't that the point of a D&D thing?
Yeah. I mean, like...
So yeah, I think he took my banter with him seriously. So I think I caused him to get a little, like, worried.
Yeah, he, like I said, he even when it isn't criticism, he takes criticism really hard. He has really high. He thinks we all have. Yeah, he thinks we all have expectations for him that are way higher than what we actually do.
Yeah, the guys all told me about that afterwards, because I did feel bad when he was like feeling like that. I was like, I hope I didn't like go over the line. He said, no, it's not you. It's just Efren kind of worries too much for nothing. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And then we tried to convince him not to like delete his character or anything like that. So
yeah.
Other than that, I have been enjoying that. I ended up making a couple more characters that I still don't have any opportunity to use them because I haven't been in any sessions. And because of the scheduling for me, again, we haven't even finished, well, everybody, we haven't even finished the boss. I think they said maybe if everyone's available, we should be able to try on Sunday, which would work for me since I am off on Sunday.
Is that your only day off?
Besides today, yes, for this week.
Oh.
Yeah, so hopefully that should be the end of that. And I have been enjoying it, you know, just every little individual thing of investigating or your stats helping you do everything.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
I enjoyed it too when I was still involved. Did they, what did they tell you about my character from Efren's campaign?
I legit don't remember anything. I do remember, like, hearing somebody mentioning your character, but I never remember anything enough to know what they were talking about.
My character
What
was
was
a
your... Yeah.
my character was a warforged samurai named Zan, which is
Okay, I remember that name.
yeah, is Japanese for sword or slay or slash, so it fit.
Okay.
And I started off with really high stats because he let me roll for them, and I just got lucky with like 3 18s, and the lowest was a 10, I think, and there was a 15 and a 13. So a samurai fighter really needs constitution, dexterity, and strength, so I just put all those to 18 right away.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and then like when I was leveling up, I just kept doubling down on my natural strengths every time, because like as a warforged, I didn't need sleep or to breathe. Like, you know, according to the description, like, I don't need to breathe. So, like, flavor text, I still do. But if I need to hold my breath for, like, 7 weeks, I could totally do it.
And breathing's for pussies.
Yeah, like, so, like, I didn't need sleep. And I didn't need to breathe. And I, so since I didn't need sleep, I was always the watchman for the party, and like when I had access to the alert feat, that was one of the first ones I picked, so like we were now immune to surprise attacks forever.
I see.
I chose observant as one of my perks, so like I could read lips if it was a language I knew, and like I noticed small things more easily, and my passive perception was really high, so like even when they were trying to sneak up on us, it was very hard for anyone to ambush the party.
Not bad, not bad.
Like, and I got the tough feat, which like doubles my HP and also doubles the HP increase on every level. And I had the sentinel feat, which like if an enemy comes near me while they're running or tries to run away from me, I can just stop them immediately. And that's not even getting into all the items I was lucky enough to get. Like, you know, we were in the fucking black market, and I ended up getting a adamantine armor set. And adamantine is immunity to crits if you're wearing armor made of that. And I was. So, like, I'm immune to crits now. Fuck out. Fuck yeah. And then in addition to that, there was I had a ring of water walking. I mean, like, I didn't need to breathe anyway, so, like, I could totally just, like, walk on the bottom of the water if I wanted to. But I got that ring of water walking because, like, I had the fucking idea to basically be robot samurai Jesus by the end. And, it could have happened if I ever made it to the end. I got, that was, like, one of the first, like, magical items I was able to buy. It was, like, you know, they had it there, and I'm like, I want that one. So I grabbed it. There was, I got some, like, mask of dark vision, or goggles of dark vision, so that I had, like, 60, feet of dark vision. So, like, I was more useful at night now, you know? I had all the great shit, you know? I had a lot of good shit. And I didn't get to use a lot of it, because, I didn't get a chance to use a lot of it. Oh yeah, I also went for great weapon fighting, because, like, you know, even though, it is this dumb weed homebrew campaign with, like, a whole bunch of Japanese bullshit, fantasy equivalent. So, like, you know, my long swords were flavor texted to be katanas. Samurai always used their katanas two-handed, unless they were doing, like, Musashi style dual blade, you know. So even though even though it's the equivalent of a long sword or short sword, I was always holding it two-handed like an actual samurai would, and because great weapon fighting just says if you're holding your weapon two-handed, like it doesn't actually have to be a great weapon. So holding the weapon two-handed lets me re-roll any attack roll that is a 2 or 1 time. And like I can do that infinite times. Like every roll I can re-roll once if it's a 1 or 2.
But one time in a turn is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Not bad.
And like, you know, by the point at which we quit, like I had like 4 attacks in 1 turn if I wanted, you know? That was how... Because, like, I was a fighter, you know? So, like, they're very simple. Like, you don't learn new spells, you just get more attacks in 1 move. You know, I had 4 attacks in 1 move. And I could do the bonus action to do another one if I wanted. Oh yeah, I had Boots of Elvenkind also, to, like, increase my stealth. It was great.
You just stole from a lot of people, didn't you, all these items? You're like,
I
need this, I need this, I'm taking this from you. No, I'm going with the logic that your samurai just ran up on a lot of people and just took shit from them and said, I'm taking your boots, I'm taking your goggles, I'm taking your armor. What's this? You got a nice sword? I'm taking your sword. But sir, that sword's been in my family for years. Yeah, and it's mine now. I'm taking this, I'm taking all your shit.
I'm just imagining Zan as, like, frickin' Arnold now, and I love it. Like, I need your boots, your goggles, and your ring.
But sir, these are all mine and you don't have any gold. I wasn't asking. These are mine now.
Oh, God.
And then you get confused as to why your character is on every wanted poster in the whole country. Like, why am I wanted? It's like you've been robbing everyone all day. I don't understand. I was role-playing him as, like, you know, Bender from Futurama? How he, like... Oh, yeah, so you would be doing that.
No, hold on. That's just a comparison. You know how Bender, like, gets, like... He gets drunk if he doesn't have beer?
I forgot about that episode.
Yeah, well, that's multiple episodes because every robot in Futurama is like that.
I remember the first one where they brought that up.
Yeah, like basically for Zan, he was 5 years old, also just like Bender, but you can't tell by looking at him because he's a robot. But instead of beer, he has an honor code. So like. It's like a self-taught code, you know. It's not necessarily good or lawful. I considered him like lawful neutral. Or neutral good. That's how I played him. But basically if Zan went too long without doing something honorable, i.e. stupid, he would get like his performance would suffer basically. So, like, basically Zan was like a stereotypical shonen, protag. Is how I was playing him the whole time. Like, he would do dumb things because they were the right thing to do sometimes.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed every, time we did shit.
Do you play with anyone else? Since you're not with the guys.
No, unfortunately. I haven't found any other groups. Partly because I haven't been looking. Partly because I've been afraid of being turned down. And partly just because I'm afraid I wouldn't fit in the first place.
Well, and also, would you not fit in the Joshua?
Also, I don't have any of the books or shit. You know, because we were doing it on D&D Beyond, where, like, you know, the person running the campaign is allowed to share his books with anyone in the campaign. So, like, it was all Ephraim's books. It was all Ephraim's books.
Yeah.
I don't have any
of I was able to make my snake.
Yeah, I don't have any of the books. And I'm worried that, like, any group I try to join will immediately be all like, ew, no, because I don't have any of the books.
You pleb!
Yeah,
How dare you not have every single book, and all of the figurines, and all the merchandise, and have subscribed to every single D&D subscription ever. You fucking pleb! You think you're gonna join my group? You're gonna drag us down.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, where to?
All you gotta do... not have any, books, and I may not have anything else. But what I can offer your group is exaggerated swagger. I can offer that to you, sir. So you should let me in. They can't say no after that. Everyone needs that going in their lives.
Oh, wow. Forget it.
Wait, what?
I was looking at I'm playing the game, and that
was a deep woo, so I was like, what the fuck?
The ferry to Mount Kilanda, which is a dungeon, like, the boat goes directly to the dungeon. No chance to say no. The ferry costs $500 to go to the dungeon. And only after agreeing to go to the dungeon does he tell you the price, and you're allowed to say no. So, I'm like, ooh, I don't have a lot of money, and also, I wasn't expecting it to send me to the dungeon immediately just from clicking the dialogue option. So, yeah, definitely not doing that right now.
Could be worse.
Like, I could afford it. I can afford to go to the dungeon, but I don't want to.
It could have been like fucking the Avengers market thing. Every time in the Avengers game, if you don't buy something from a merchant, they basically try to like shit talk you and say, "Oh, you're not gonna buy anything? Well, I guess my kids are going hungry tonight, you asshole."
That's a thing in lots of video games. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about your fucking
How dare you
polygon
not buy?
children.
You're supposed to be a hero. Why aren't you giving me money?
You're not
hero.
You're not even real, sir.
Oh, I'm not real? How do you know you're not real? Maybe you should be a good person no matter what reality it is. Now buy my expensive shit, you asshole. Do it. I demand you do it. You go and play Infamous, and then it's like, do you buy this hot dog or no? Well, I don't need any help, so I won't buy this hot dog. What do you mean I got bad karma for that? You didn't support local businesses.
It's more like, do you buy the hot dog or steal it?
Nah, but for like this, it's even worse. It's like, oh, you just turn down the offer. Oh, well, you're a piece of shit. Why won't you buy this and spend your money for this thing you don't need? Why aren't you supporting other people and other people in the community? I'm saving lives. Oh, but you're not spending some money. That's too hard for you to do. You fucking evil bastard.
Heroes don't have money.
We're against vigilante justice, Spider-Man. Hey, he's not doing vigilante justice. What an asshole. Kill him with vigilante justice.
I like all those Spider-Man YouTube poops where, like, it's from, Spider-Man 2, where, Peter's powers don't work anymore. So he just goes back to being regular people person. And, he's eating the hot dog as he walks down the sidewalk, and, like, there's so many YouTube poops where they take that scene of him, like, stuffing his face with the hot dog and just put it in a moment that, like, it wasn't the original moment. Because, like, in the movie, like, the cops are, like, chasing someone. Yeah. And
he just eats his hot dog like, well, that's not my concern.
In the YouTube poop, it's like, fucking... people fucking die and cars explode and he just watches it happen. Remember in the movie where, like, he goes into that burning building to save that kid? There's one where, like, it's that scene and the guy's all like, there's a kid trapped on the second floor, and then they cut to Peter eating his hot dog.
No, there's a lot like that, especially with the whole thing of the MCU. There's even a channel called Toby in the MCU.
Yeah, I've seen that.
There's like scenes of like bad shit happening in New York City with the Avengers, and then Peter just cuts to him eating his hot dog. Or like Endgame, where everybody's coming together. It shows Peter walking out with the Infinity Gauntlet saying, hey, I had to beat an old lady with a stick for this. And it's just, or like, my favorite one is when the Avengers are at their last moment and everything looks lost, and instead of Tony or whoever coming back, it's Toby, and it's playing the song where Toby is doing the Spider-Man dance in 3, and it just shows him, And I said in the comments, it said when you call your big brother to take on the class bully, because Tobey Maguire's been there before all of them, so all hope is lost. Thanos is about to win, and they just call Tobey Maguire, and it's just him dancing. Thanos looks so scared, and then it's just like, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. And then, you know, if he was that scene where he was in the jazz club, he's like dancing and being an asshole. He says, now take on this, and he snaps his finger, and then Thanos starts to disintegrate, and then you hear Tobey Maguire, see it, chump.
Like, I love those. I'm actually subscribed to that channel. But, like, that reminds me of, like, Thanos' thing was just, like, eliminate half of all life in the universe. Like, there's no guarantee that he isn't in that. And that reminds me of a fucking Twitter post where...
I get to the point where they argue, well, why doesn't Thanos just do something different? Why does he think it's like, you don't get it? One, he can't just double the, you know, resources of everything, because the Infinity Gauntlet literally states the rules, at least in the MCU, work with what's in the universe. You can't just make new shit that's not there unless they're taking from something else, basically. And, well, personally, no one knows. Some people say they prefer the comic or the movie Thanos. In the comic, I think that comic Thanos works better because he's a legit evil asshole, and the fact that he wants to court death, people say, well, I'm glad they didn't go with that because it makes him look like a simp. And I'm like, you don't understand. The fact that Thanos is willing to wipe out all of existence, not half, all, or fuck around with the universe just to prove a point to death because he likes her, that tells you how much he does not give a shit about people.
Yeah.
Like, that's the epitome of evil. Like, oh, your lives are literally nothing to me. This is like me picking a flower out of the ground.
Doesn't Death like Deadpool anyway?
Even before she met Deadpool, she never liked Thanos.
Well, he's very unlikable, so I can totally understand that.
Yeah, like he tried. Yeah, she likes Deadpool, and she likes him for the contrived reason that basically Deadpool makes her laugh, and because he's always kind of skirting the line between nearly dying and everything, he's like the one thing she can't have. So it's kind of the one thing that kind of keeps her like paying attention to him. But Thanos tried to court her directly. She was not interested at all. She was not even concerned about him, not even like paying attention to him. So he would just do all these horrible things just to impress her. And people say, oh, that makes Thanos a loser. It's like, you don't understand. That's how evil he is. He's so above other people in morality that wiping out entire planets is nothing to him. That's him like impressing a girl in his mind. Like, oh yeah, I destroyed this entire half of the universe just to show you how cool I am. Don't you love it? Oh, you don't love it? Well, let me wipe out more people. It's like, that's the point. You're supposed to be terrified that someone could be so cold to other people. Not that, oh, Thanos is a good guy deep down inside who thinks he's doing the right thing. It's like, it worked for the movies, but it's still dumb.
Yeah,
it's
like
still dumb.
I don't need comic books to like be horrified that people can be so cold to other people. I have plenty of reasons for that in daily life.
Yeah, and I just think that like you wouldn't have that issue where you're like, well, why doesn't Thanos just do this or this or this? Because he's suggesting that he has a righteous goal, but the realistic thing is it's not righteous because one, you're causing a shit ton of death, and then two, there's other things you could possibly do to, you know, get your goal, but he's not listening, so it makes him come off kind of stupid. But if it was the comic book version of Thanos where he's literally just a evil asshole who doesn't care about people, he had no concern about any lives all anywhere, and he's only doing this to impress somebody, that's way more scummy, that's way more villainous, because then you can't even ask, well, why is he doing this? Oh, right, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care about life.
He is the
like
anti-life.
Thanos, you destroyed everything. You destroyed everything that I love. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You don't matter to me. You're nothing.
I can't remember, I can't remember what video game it was, but, the character you play as, their motivation was, that, the bad guys slaughtered their people. And there was one point in the story where, like, they're doing a blade clash with one of the bad guys, and they actually straight up said, "You slaughtered my people!" Like, the delivery on that just... I don't know why, but I laugh at it. It had the same energy as Starkiller's They Are Real to Me from Force Unleashed 2. I'm talking about his memories. I don't know why.
He was a clone.
Yeah. I really like the Force Unleashed, and I wish that, like... I wish that we could have another one. But Jedi Fallen Order fills that gap pretty well, and I like it. I've platted it already. And there's a sequel planned for next year.
The last game that I ended up playing, Star Wars, was the Star Wars The Old Republic Online. That was pretty much my only, which I enjoyed simply because of the different storylines depending on what character you take. I liked all the different branching paths you can take as a Jedi warrior or a Jedi counselor or a bounty hunter, trooper, Imperial agent, Sith warrior, Sith Inquisitor. I loved all those different branching things because it meant that you could pretty much blur the line between, it didn't matter what character you picked, you could be a piece of shit or a hero. And because of the context of whatever character class you have, it kind of changes. Like, okay, an Imperial agent, you could be the most evil, sadistic Imperial agent, like, oh, I don't care about anything, all I care about is the Empire, I'm gonna do all this shit for the Empire. Or you could say, I'm done with the Empire because the Empire tried to manipulate me, control me, and you can literally just break away from the Empire and be your own person. Or you can become a double agent for the Republic and help them out in the shadows. You've got so many options for what you want to do while still being you, and it all kind of works and fits, which I enjoy. Like, that's what kind of got me into paying attention to Star Wars, because I didn't really care that much.
Yeah. Well, like, I grew up with the original trilogy, like, because, like, I was exposed to it thanks to my parents. And by parents, I mean my mom. Like, she had the VHSs. Or, whatever.
Josh, when you gonna watch this historical documentary?
Nah. And also, like, you know, sometimes, like, when I was at daycare, that was the movie they would put on.
Yeah.
So, like, I even though I was born after the originals, like, they were my first experience with Star Wars. Because, you know, Episode 1 didn't come out until 99. So, like, welcome back, Eric.
Eric, you're not dead.
Not dead, not yet.
So, like, I've always been a Star Wars fan, but I'm not, like, one of those super fans who's all like, oh, the sequels ruined Star Wars. I'm like, they're serviceable Star Wars movies, because Star Wars has always been a little bit silly and dumb.
Josh.
Yeah?
You're not a super fan. You told me over and over again, like, talk to me for an hour about Star Wars.
Yeah, but I'm not like one of those cringy guys who's all like, oh, the sequels ruined Star Wars.
To me, the only thing that you could say has been ruined by sequels is just the fact that it really just threw away a good chunk of what made certain old stuff work.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the only time when I'm like, nah, see, sometimes I can see where some of these guys are coming from, because it's like, they did do a lot to kind of bury a bit of what Luke is, and then some of the just fundamental things of the Force, and like how you can just be strong because the Force says you're strong. Like, I know the Chosen One was a thing, but then they kind of changed who was the Chosen One every fucking movie. And in some things I can see where they're coming from, where it's like, okay, yeah, this just makes no fucking sense. Like, I can understand why someone who cares about this franchise is like, you're literally throwing away what made the franchise what it is.
Like, getting rid of all the extended universe was a bad move, in my opinion. Because, like, they're just pulling from the extended universe anyway. So, in my opinion, they should have kept it. But,
nah, but they wanted it to just be theirs. So,
yes,
yeah.
I know.
They were like,
I know.
no, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, all the extended universe had all the best ideas. Well, I guess we'll just go through it and then say it's ours. And then you think, well, why don't you just copy it pound by pound and then just do it. But no, you do different things, and it's like you're reading the instructions and you're reading them wrong.
Like,
yes,
but
and
also,
then all we gotta do is this.
Yeah, like, also, though, the extended universe did have a lot of the dumb shit, too. Like, people love, like, Luke and his new Jedi Order and his kids and how badass they were. What they don't fucking remember is,
Yes.
They don't remember the Ewoks cartoon, which was canon. They don't remember the Droids cartoon, which was canon. And the Droids cartoon is just C-3PO and R2-D2 getting into shenanigans completely on their own without anyone else around. They don't remember the fucking... they don't want to remember the Christmas special, which was canon. Like, there's so much about, like, the Star Wars Extended Universe that is not as good as people think it is. Like, I like Star Wars because there's a lot of dumb shit in it along with the good shit. Like, and the sequels, they're not as good as the prequels or the originals, partly because they had this idea for a 3-act story, but they didn't actually decide what the story would be, and they got 3 directors to do it, and then one of them quit. And the guy who did the third one...
Pushback,
go ahead.
I think part of the pushback between the new stuff and everything is literally just the almost vitriolic spite to all the old stuff. Like, I really do feel like that's where a lot of the general, like, okay, well, fuck you mentality came from, because there's so much in there where it just feels like they're saying, not only is this new shit better, but anyone who thinks the old shit is better is wrong, and we're going to have the movie say you're wrong for not thinking that this is the best shit ever. And it's almost like, dude, like, anyone would be pissed at that.
I never
like, why
saw,
are you doing this?
Like, I mean, like, I'm not, like, that socially adept, so, like, maybe I can be faulted for not ever noticing anything like that when I looked at it, but, like, the Force Awakens, like, that seemed, if anything, like it was giving too much credit to the old ones. Like, J.J. Abrams really seemed like he just wanted to tell the same story again. And that's okay.
Like, I remember that was the only one I watched out of the whole trilogy, and I watched it for the same reason a lot of people did. It's like, alright, new shit, let's see. Because I was like, well, I don't really need to know a lot about Star Wars to know where they're jumping off from. And for a lot of people, they were like, new characters, let's see where this goes. I was very disappointed with what they did with Finn and with a lot of the other guys there. I remember a lot of people said, why didn't they just do a subplot for Finn and Poe? Because then you could kind of have Finn be a competent trooper and Finn be more of the charismatic smuggler type.
Okay.
You can basically do another Han Solo, Mando situation.
See, here's the thing. Finn was supposed to be the Han Solo, no, I'm sorry. Finn was supposed to be the Leia of the new group. Because Leia is like...
they didn't do it right.
Well, no, see, like, what I mean by that is, like, in the original, Leia was, like, a bit of a badass, but she wasn't, like, force sensitive, and she wasn't an awesome pilot like Han. But she was really, like, accurate with her blaster. Like, it was even a joke in the first movie, where, like, Han's, like, spraying and praying down the hallway, and she just takes his blaster and gets 3 guys in 3 shots.
But that's what I'm saying. They did it wrong with Finn, because he didn't even have that.
Yeah.
And then they kept confusing you, because then they were like, oh, here's the scene where he picks up a saber.
Yeah.
And even though he's not trained, the fact that he can use a saber is like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, but look at the way he's using it. He's, like, swinging it wildly, and, like, he loses to a riot trooper. By the way, that riot trooper...
but it's just the fact that he could do it,
Yeah. By the way, like, Phasma was their attempt at making a new Boba Fett. You know, the chrome-plated stormtrooper.
Which is another problem where they didn't
because they tried to do it on purpose. Like, Boba Fett was cool because he had a cool...
rival.
Yeah. Yeah, the traitor should have been Finn's rival. Like, Boba Fett was cool because he was a nobody with a cool design who did one cool thing one time.
And then job. A lot.
Yeah,
Super hard. But
yeah, but
fanboys
everyone
keep swearing to God he's not a jobber.
Yeah, yeah. But, like, they tried to do it on purpose with Phasma, but they never, like, gave her any cool shit to do. But
And
Trader
it wouldn't have
got
taken
to do
much
that
more
cool
to work.
shit. Trader got that one cool moment, and everyone loves him a million times better. Trader should have been...
There's too many problems with just the whole thing of Finn and the troopers thing. For one thing, he's too eager to like turn his back on his fellow troopers. Even if he doesn't believe in the New Order, I would feel like with the training or whatever, you would know that not everyone, like the whole point of Finn is to show that the troopers are people. Like they're not robots, they're not mindless slaves.
Yeah, and then they
These are
start shooting them
people.
down again as soon as he's on their
and
side
the
anyway.
fact that Finn has no reflection or anything, which is again why I think Phasma could have worked for that angle, because then we might
Well, that's
have
what they
some
were
more
trying to do.
examples to show that, well, even though she works for the side, she's actually like concerned and hurt that Finn left and angered that Finn left. And
Okay.
Finn could even say, "Yeah, I know Phasma. She
Everything-
was one of my trainers and everything." It's just too belligerent to say, "Nope, she's a bad guy. Finn is a good guy." No
Everything
one has
you're
any
saying-
introspection.
Everything you're saying is what is true about that one random stormtrooper that fought Finn. The reason
No, I know.
he called him a traitor and was so angry about it is because they were in the same class
trained.
together. Like they were
Yeah, I
training
heard about
buddies.
the comic that. I heard about the book or the comic that went into more
Yeah.
detail about that.
Yeah,
Which
because
again,
there always is something like that with Star Wars.
yeah, but that's the
they had
problem.
a fucking
Yeah. No,
they
go
had a
ahead.
fucking comic about the fucking traitor guy.
Yeah, there's always something like that with
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It was more about Finn's backstory to give more detail to it because they didn't do it in the movie, and so it just so happened that the traitor guy was in Finn's unit that they were training under, which is why he responded like that. But again, my point is, the sum of a good product is, can you consume the product and get everything out of it, or get most out of it? I shouldn't need an outward source to tell me these things when you have all the elements to do that in this one story. You could have cut down a lot of unneeded, fat to give me more quality stuff for Finn. And again, this would have been another thing. When Finn lands on Jakku, instead of having him run into fucking Rey, have him run into Poe immediately, and then those two are now lying to each other and working together, and we can get more information on the Order and, the new Resistance. I gotta go do something real quick.
Alright. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
how are you enjoying Dell, Josh?
I enjoy him. I hope he's enjoying me. Like, I'll say this again when he comes back, but I'm gonna say it to you right now. I think, like, the biggest flaw with the sequel trilogy is they tried to start their own expanded universe. And, like, the expanded universe worked because it happened naturally because fans loved the movies and wanted to write their own stories. The expanded universe was just fan fiction originally, but George Lucas was all like, yeah, that's cool, let's keep it. And he let them keep it. Back when he was the deciding factor on that.
Yeah, but I don't think I needed a comic on this traitor in it because...
Oh, you didn't! But the reason that it exists is because they were trying to create their own expanded universe from the start, which means that, like, the comic was made when the movie was made.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying, one of the things I just don't like is, because a lot of people were talking to me about the movie and stuff like that, like at work, and people I knew, they were, because we all kind of had the same thing. We just watched the movie because we weren't that big of Star Wars fans. We didn't really give a shit about the series, but we're like, this is a new thing. Maybe we'll have a trilogy that sticks with us where we really give a fuck about it. And, a lot of people were really hyped about Finn. I knew some people who were kind of interested in what Rey might be. So we went in with open minds and everything like that. I was disappointed just with the basics of setting up the New Order and the Resistance, because one, you have to go with the logical statement of, we beat the Empire, they were destroyed. How did they culminate to an entire new empire, and why are we the Resistance when the galactic government, the Republic, is the majority? How did we go from the A to B?
The
where
Republic
it's the
does
same
not
shit?
acknowledge the threat that the
I
First
know,
Order
but I'm
poses.
just saying that was just stupid. where
I agree.
we missed a lot of stuff that
I
they could have
agree.
did with that.
Like, they should have copied the expanded universe more directly with that, and should have just had, like, Imperial remnants. That would have been fine.
And what I said would have worked for Rey, because, okay, so I set up this whole thing where Finn lands on Jakku, him and Poe land on Jakku, and now you have these two. I wanted to be where Finn's not there when, like, he doesn't reveal himself to Poe. They just both crash land on Jakku. Basically the same thing. And Poe says, we need to get that fucking droid. And Finn goes on with him because he's still on the run from his people. They don't tell each other everything about themselves yet, but we get more snippets of information about the New Order and the Resistance, so we can get that, you know, the exposition without us now asking what the fuck is going on. Then on top of that, they can have their own adventure on Jakku. They're all gonna meet Rey, and everything's gonna lead up to one point. While they're off doing their thing, they're bantering off of each other. Finn, you could play him up as a bit more, you know, cold, maybe slightly more, you know, hesitant to open up to people. He could just have like a blaster rifle, and Finn could be the slick, you know, gun shooter like the Solo type. I know what they were trying to do, but again, they introduced all these characters. They were going to have a purpose in the story. So I think this would be the best way to blend them all together. Rey, meanwhile, she's the one who finds, you know, the droid like usual, and she doesn't realize everyone's tracking down this fucking droid. And while she's like dealing with new upcoming threats, like the New Order sending troops down and everything, maybe some small snippets of Force power show up. Like maybe she accidentally does a Force push or something like that. So that way we can see, holy shit, there's a lot of potential here. Yeah. And she obviously isn't trained or anything, but now it doesn't come out of left field, where people feel like, where the fuck is all this coming from?
My complaints with the sequel trilogy is that, like, they were trying too hard to capture the, they were trying to make the more organic, slow build-up of the original expanded universe. They were trying to force that. They were trying to create their own expanded universe from the start. And the
which
expanded...
is what you should not do.
Yes. And so, like, they intentionally left parts out of the movie. Like you said, you would rather be able to watch the movie and understand the whole context from that, and then get more detail later if you want. But they intentionally
again, it really
left...
does come down to having no plan. Like, there was no plan.
Yeah. Like, they should have had either one director for all three movies, and, like, you know, co-directors if they wanted. Or, they should have had a unified story going forward, and just, like, you know, had the different directors be responsible for, like, different style of film. You know? But they didn't do that.
Yeah. I haven't watched the other two. I know enough. I know all of the plot threads about it because I've watched in-depth reviews of each one. But
in my opinion, The Last Jedi is the best of the three. And if you want me to explain it, I will.
People say that a lot. People say that. Yeah. Eric, did you watch any of the new stuff?
No. I liked what I already had, so I was like, no, I don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much why I didn't even bother with watching any of the others. Because again, I didn't have as much love for the franchise. I just went in this with curiosity, maybe, and then, you know, the first movie, which is supposed to wow and bring you in, it just didn't click for me. So I was like, I don't really care anymore. And I pretty much just fed it. Because again, I only really care about Star Wars in the games. I don't really care.
The games have always been better, in my opinion. Like, I didn't play KOTOR because, like, I didn't have an Xbox or a good PC back when those came out. But the SWTOR MMO was basically took a lot of the KOTOR 3 ideas and just MMOified it. And that's why it's as good as it is.
Mad Max, did you, Eric?
Mad Max? No.
Yeah, because I didn't either. I think Sky said he did.
No, he said he barely paid attention to the first one and didn't watch anyone after them. That's why I was, like, a little mad that he was...
No, he said he watched Fury Road. He did say he watched that.
Well, everyone saw Fury Road, because that one was new.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Came out just a few years ago. But, like, Mad Max has never been, like... You already saw it. You were reading what I was saying. Thank you, by the way. They don't pay attention to me very often. when I'm in the chat
Eric
like
does,
that.
and he kind of reminds the chat thing going on. Because again, sometimes I don't even remember that streams are going on. Like what happened with fucking Efren on the Spire.
Yeah.
Which is what led to that huge laugh from all of us because we all
Yeah,
fucking forgot.
I was watching that, but I wasn't like typing anything because I didn't I was confident it wouldn't be read, and also it was like I was having too much fun listening.
Rian has a message.
What's his message?
He says that he blocked you.
Why?
Blocked him. I thought you said blog.
I don't know the reason behind this, but he told me, hey, tell Josh I blocked him.
Why would he only do it now is my question.
Yeah, he talked to me earlier.
Did he? I thought he never talked to you, so that's why I was like, what's the point of blocking
No,
someone
he talked to me just earlier today. He sent me Ram Lethal art.
That's very strange.
Could you ask him why?
Yeah, and he says, because I don't want to talk to him anymore.
But
why not?
That's why I'm lost. Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, he talked to me earlier today. What changed between then and now?
I had the mentality that he had never spoken to Josh ever since you guys like kicked him out of the group, and I thought Eric was the only one that kept in touch.
Probably because I told him, because he said, hey, I made a party like an hour ago, and then he was...
Oh yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
I told him that me and Dal were streaming with you, and I think he was like, man, fuck that, I don't want Josh to spend time with them.
Oh yeah, I think you invited him to like come in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rian's a confusing one sometimes because like Eric, remember last time when we were all streaming the last time with Efren, and literally the few minutes he joined on, we were like, you know, kind of ribbing him, and then he left, and I'm like, Rian, what is your deal, man? What is the flip flop so many times between like being depressed and then saying, why do you guys think I'm depressed? Or then like that time, Eric, I remember you tried to apologize and Les said just let it go. And you were confused. You were like, I don't get it. Am I not supposed to apologize when Rian seems sad?
Yeah, like, this is like basically the whole reason I'm not in the group anymore. Because like, Rian would say a thing, and I would take it bad, and then he'd be all like, I was joking, and now you got all mad and made this big deal about it. So, like, that had happened many times by that point. So, like, you know, I was sick of it happening. And I guess that day, like, Rian never, like, wants to explain, like, the difference between a joke and an insult. And I think the reason is because he actually wants to reserve the right to insult people and say it's a joke.
No, I don't think it's that deep. I think it really is just the fact of Rian's obviously got a very difficult situation at his home with his brother and shit.
Yeah,
so I think
know
he's
that, but like
already very no. I think he's already very used to being heavily stressed and going through mood swings. Eric, I don't know if you kind of pick up on this too. And then sometimes when he just jumps in on something, even if nothing goes wrong, he might say, I'll just leave, I guess. And we're like, when did we imply we want you to leave? Like, he'll take things as an offense when they're not an offense. So I think his mood swings, it just literally depends on whatever mood he's in right now. Like, if he's feeling bad, he might not tell us why he's feeling bad, but then all of a sudden he'll just feel like everything's
take it out
wrong.
on us.
Yeah, or like, when he came into the stream that time and he said that he was just talking to Les and he feels a little weird. And me and you, Eric, we were like, well, wait, why you feel bad talking to Les? Like, I was joking. I said, talking to Les is like having a shot of coffee for me. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, for you.
Well,
like, what the fuck happened between you two?
Les is a bit of an asshole sometimes. And,
yeah, but he's a teddy bear. He's a teddy bear.
Yeah,
There's
but
nothing there. Les talks so much shit to me, but I talk shit back to him. He's a teddy bear.
Yeah, and like, you know, I mentioned that too, like, because Leslie says he hates me, but like, you know, the way he shows it is the same shit that everyone else does, and they say that they're just joking. So like, you know, mixed messages, you know?
Well, do you get mixed messages from Eric?
Not most of the time.
'Cause
Not when it's just
me
me and Eric. Not when it's just me and Eric, but
Yeah,
sometimes when the rest
This
of
is
the
again
girls are
about
there.
why I was confused about Rian saying he blocked you. Not like
Yeah.
I cared, because I don't really care, but I was confused
I
because
care.
from the way the group functioned, or at least from the way I always hear anything else about you, like, oh yeah, Josh said this, is only through Eric. So in my mind, I'm like, Eric is the only person in the group who interacts with Josh, which again,
No.
I wouldn't be surprised about because, you know,
Eric's
he
kind.
got kicked out.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Eric's the only one who pays attention or keeps in touch with Josh. Okay, that makes sense, you know? But the fact that Rian, you know, sends you art and, like, sometimes speaks to you, now I'm confused. So I'm like, if you really didn't like him, why haven't you blocked him long ago? Or why are you interacting with him?
Yeah.
So that's the part where I was confused, where Eric said that he blocked him now.
Yeah. Like, did he say this, like, today?
He said it like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, like... He didn't message me since earlier when he sent me that art. It was good art, too, and I told him it was.
Mm-hmm.
I said I really liked the style on this one. Cause,
I mean, that's pretty much his hobby, which is just, you know, showing art to everybody.
yeah, and, you know, he knows I like Ram Lethal because dark-skinned, blonde,
Mm-hmm.
short shorts. Ram Lethal ticks a lot
He
of my
did.
waifu checklist.
He used to spam me with Ram Lethal too,
Yeah.
and I know he spams Eric with like a bunch of like
Kokichi.
Twinks and Trap Boys. Yeah, Kokichi or Venti now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't know. I feel like sometimes with Rian, I don't know if he thinks that I'm not trying to be his friend. I'm not sure how to put this, but I feel like sometimes Rian might feel like I think he's a bother, because there are some times when he might like kind of like half-ass say, "Oh, well, I know Les. You know, you pay attention to Les," and I'm like, "Do you think I not pay attention to you?" Like, or like sometimes like, "Oh, you don't even pay attention to your notifications," which is true. I don't. You know, I don't
Well,
really pay attention
you know,
to what's going on Discord.
There's
So-
like 7 people in the group at any given time, even though there's actually
Right.
more than that. If you paid attention to all
Yeah,
of
so
it,
it's
like, you know, the only ones who pay attention to all of it is like me when I was still there and Grant, because like Grant has said that he like reads everything he missed whenever things are said while he's gone.
Yeah, and it's like I don't pay that much attention if I'm just not there to pay attention, or if I'm not bored or I don't have anything else to do. But I feel like because I don't respond as often as he might like, or if I'm not, you know, speaking about every image he might send, he might think that I'm ignoring him when that's not the case. And again, I just don't know if he feels like he's a burden or if he's a bother. And it puts me in an awkward position because you guys know I don't even pay attention to anything over the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking join Discord until a fucking long while ago. I didn't even get on PSN until a long time ago. So I'm usually the last guy to pay attention to anything that's going on. So
Yeah.
if I miss something, or someone says, "Oh, I told Dell this," or "I texted Dell this," and he didn't respond, like, I feel like everyone else would be like, "Oh yeah, well that makes sense."
You still
Like,
on board
Fidel's
for that
never-
movie night when we can get Sam together for it too, by the way?
I don't mind, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it's like, I feel like if anyone said, like, "Oh, Fidel didn't respond to this," or anything like that, everyone else would be like, "Well, yeah, his ass is never around."
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that you have a real life with a job, so, like,
I think it might be, and I think this might be the other thing where it might feel like I'm choosing over the fact that I'm very open, that sometimes some people are really, really eager to say something and they might think I'm not giving them the opportunity. Like even Eric, like when I first heard Eric's voice, I was swooning because of how fucking like adorable his voice sounds. And then the fact that he would always feel like he can't get a word, and I'm like, "No, Eric, speak over me if you have to. I'll shut up. I want you
Yeah.
to speak."
yeah, like, you know, I wouldn't say swooning, but I do also like Eric's voice.
I did.
Yeah.
Nah,
I like
I
your
did.
voice too, though. You
Only a
sound like
few
a cool guy, and Eric sounds like a really nice person.
Only a few people's voices here have like legit made me swoon a minute. Eric's, Sam's, and fucking Les. When I heard Sam's voice, I was like, holy shit, who is this like sexier Plague of Gripes voice speaking to me?
I wouldn't describe Leslie like that, but the personality fits.
No, I'm talking about Sam. Sam's voice. Sam's voice. I was like, that's like a sexier Plague.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Les's voice to me is just like that of, again, like I said, an angry teddy bear.
Yeah.
Especially when he's sleepy and he doesn't want to go to sleep. No, fuck you. It's like, let's go to bed.
I didn't realize that was him being sleepy. I thought that was him in pain, because that's how he described it.
Yeah, trying to stay awake is pain.
I thought he was like in actual physical pain because of his back and knees.
That too, maybe. Yeah, I feel like some of the things might be where people don't. Well, I think like a lot of the friction between anybody might just be the concept of just not taking anything said here very seriously. Even if a few moments of heated confrontation happens, it's not something you should like hold on to.
Yeah, see, like
again, I don't take anything here seriously from anything that you guys say, like whatever. Like again, most times people joke, oh, Fidelis, you don't even pay attention. It's like, I pay attention, but then I might forget, because it's like, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, that was the problem I always had. Like, I didn't know which things to take seriously, because sometimes they were joking, and then sometimes they would say the same thing seriously. And, like, how am I supposed to tell the difference? You know?
Something that is obviously untrue. Like, remember on the Bloodborne stream, we joked, Josh, you like Twilight, and you were like, why are you guys lying about me? And like,
right.
Yeah, that was me attempting to joke, but like it doesn't carry over in text.
Yeah, and I think a part of it too is like past experience. So past experiences from them with you, Josh, might be you not knowing what to take seriously or not. So then even when you think you're responding in jest, like you said, over text, they might think you're taking an offense to it. So
yeah, that was the friction. Is like I didn't know what to take seriously.
Yeah.
So like even when I was trying to joke, they thought I was being serious.
Well, yes, and I think part of it is you just gotta. At least to me, I'm not trying to tell you like
what it comes down to is a lack of communication, but communication is impossible now.
Or just a lack of care. Like, again, like, I don't give a shit about anything that's said, and I think because everyone knows I don't give a shit about anything said, if they speak about something that's more personal or serious, they know, oh, well, I'm going to listen, I'm going to try to help you from whatever this is. But in anything other case, you know that if you're talking to me, good chance are I will either not see it, I might, make some bullshit joke if it's not something that I don't care about. Like, no one expects much. And I feel like, again, part of it is you come to Discord or you talk to the group or whatever, or whoever friends you've got. You want to unwind and let go of the stress of the day. You don't want to feel like you're adding more by now almost feeling like you got to do homework to pay attention to what mood somebody's in. So, again, I don't know about anything like this. I'm not trying to tell you like, oh, this is how you're going to heal the friction or anything, Josh. Like, that's not really
like
in my hands or anything
I
like
would
that.
like to, but that's impossible at this point because most
No,
of them
but that's what I'm
don't talk to
saying.
me.
That's not really what I'm trying to do or anything like that. I'm just saying, no matter what situation you're in, it's best to just not put so much stock in anything. Like, people enjoy casual interactions because it makes them feel comfortable. That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, but once I get close with a group and start to actually care what they think about me, basically,
that's your biggest flaw.
Yeah, basically, I can do what you're saying, but only with people that I don't know very well.
No, yeah, and I think part of it is you might feel like when you get close to someone, you feel too hard and you care too much, but
I definitely
you gotta always remember the line. Maybe it also comes from the way that I see things. Like, despite how much I joke and whatever, and like, aha, Junior's a big perverted fuck or whatever. It's like I don't ever. Well, yeah, I don't ever see myself interacting with any of you guys like that out of nowhere. Like, even Eric. Like, one minute Eric says he had a fucking dream about me shaking Les in his house, and he had different images in his head about what me and Les look like to him. And he said, yeah, that's why I never want to see you guys in real life, because I don't want to ruin that image. Like, I get that, you know? It's like, you interact with people
Eric,
over online.
I need to know what these images were.
Dal was a combination or a son of both Wooly and Brendan Williams.
Okay, that sounds about right for me too, actually. That's more or less what I'm picturing. I'm not dreaming about it, though.
It's your turn.
And
So you
Leslie
say-
is a half Puerto Rican, half black, kind of chubby guy with a mullet.
And I was shaking him, telling him to calm down for some reason.
Okay,
There was no explanation.
you and
Yeah.
I must have very similar subconscious, because everything you said is the same image that I had, but minus the mullet.
Oh.
I just picture Leslie as like having the standard, like, you know, short hair that black people have, where it's like
In the
really short, tight curls.
Mm-hmm.
The short tight. You talk about it like it's a Kekkei Genkai from Naruto. Oh, all the black people have this stuff.
No, like, not
I mean, it
all,
basically
but
is
like,
when you
it's
get
one of the
down to it.
stereotypical hairstyles. It's like really short, like, tight curls. Like, I had a friend, the only, like, black friend I've ever had in person, and I haven't seen him in years, so what does that tell you about me? I had a friend in
I mean,
school
that doesn't really
who
tell
had...
me anything.
It tells you that I barely leave my house. Anyway,
But it's like the way you said it, like, no, what does that tell you about me? Like, as if you choose your friends like that. I was like, that doesn't really mean anything.
well, no, like, he and I were friends because we were in the same class, because it was the special
No,
ed
I
class.
know,
Yeah.
but you left it with that implication, like there was supposed to be something else, and I was like, nothing. Man,
Yeah, sorry for,
no, I'm just fucking
being
around with
too
you.
vague. But yeah, like, I had a friend who had the hairstyle I'm talking about, but I don't know any other way to describe it except to call it, like, really short, tight curls.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is pretty much what it is, so it's not like the description is something where people are gonna say, what? Yeah, usually it's like a small curls, if it's left by itself, depending on the person, and whatever with their hair, it might turn into a small afro.
Yeah.
Usually, you know, there's the buzz cut, the fade. I used to always have a fade. I
Yeah.
started putting my hair in dreads about 2 years ago, just because I
How's
got
that
tired of
working
always
out for
getting
you?
it. I mean, pretty much what I expected. I just got a mane of hair now, and it's about down to the back of my neck. It's not all the way down to my back like Wooly or anything like that. I've got like kind of
I
short.
think Wooly
and
has it shorter now.
I think he does. And if I don't tie it up, then it does get everywhere, like in my face and everything. To be expected though, because I prefer it that way.
Yeah.
So that's usually when I'm like at my house.
Do you play Souls-likes? You know? Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Demon Souls.
I played Bloodborne, and I haven't touched it in a while. I have never played any of the Dark Souls series, no.
Okay, are you
Just because
interested...
I never even...
Yeah. Are you
got around
interested
it.
in Nioh? N-I-O-H. That's that, you know, Samurai Dark
heard
Souls
about
made by
it.
Team Ninja.
Never... Yeah, heard about it and never even thought about grabbing it because I forgot all about it. Yeah.
You can make your own character in Nioh too, and even though it's supposed to be happening in feudal era Japan, because they're letting you make your own character, you can make a black dude with dreads.
Yeah, as you should be able to.
Yeah. All my characters except my first character though. Because, like, also you can, like, customize your appearance at any time. They'll let you do that. They don't care. Like, and they'll let you save appearances. All my saved appearances, except for the first one I made, are, like, different waifus. And, one of them is a, like, tallest, most muscular black chick with big braided ponytail.
So you created your fantasy girl, huh?
No,
Hey, he
because
wants a black Amazon. There's nothing wrong with that.
I actually did name that saved appearance as Amazon.
He just wants his black snoo. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
We've all got our crack, like you, Eric. Every twink in existence.
Yeah, and like I've got a pale-skinned, black-haired, red-eyed, short girl, and I named her Goth Girl.
Okay, Eric. Well, if you had to choose right now between Kurapika or Venti, and you can only sleep with one of them, and whoever you don't sleep with, you'll never get a chance to do it ever again. They're gonna hate you. Who would you pick?
I would pick Kurapika because if Kurapika hates me, then that means he's gonna kill me because he kills everybody who he hates.
Yeah, Venti, if he hates you, he just won't talk to you.
He'll just drink his sorrow away like, damn it, Eric didn't give me the dick. Time to drink my sorrow.
He'll sound really happy about it the whole time, too, though. It's weird. Venti never sounds sad.
But he's sad on the inside.
That's why he's drinking.
Well, there you go. Very good. Very good. I would also go for Kurapika, simply because he's a wholesome individual who would be a very good wife.
I don't know who Kurapika is.
The blonde-haired dude from Hunter x Hunter in the main cast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sasuke was based off of.
Oh yeah, the whole eye thing. He got all of that from Kurapika because Kurapika has the revenge the clan mentality. He's also got the red eye transformation. He has basically all those general stroke themes. They come from Kurapika.
Oh, cool.
And he is a very effeminate, as in just his very regular appearance. Even though he doesn't dress like cross-dress or anything, just his appearance is so feminine that people mistake him for a woman so many times.
Alright. Yeah.
That is a very, very pretty person, and he would be an excellent wife.
Yeah.
Purity.
But yeah, like... Oh, no, wait. I actually have 2 male characters in Neo. The first one I made... I just made Majima, or as close as I could get it. And, like, I spent a lot of time on that one, so it's actually really accurate. And then, like, recently, the last time I played Neo 2, I just made, like, a self-insert and saved it as me. So, like, you know, dark brown hair. A little too long. Very pale skin. Sunken eyes. Look like a fucking ghoul.
As it should be.
Yeah. Stubble. Because I can't grow a good beard. It's always stubble.
Let me see. Because we already have Skylar getting molested by Melina. I am apparently stuck as Sindel's pleasure slave. Eric has to deal with fucking Kung Jin constantly trying to hit him up, no matter how many times Eric tells him to leave him alone. Let's see, what would Josh's tragedy in MK be? What horrible punishment would you be stuck as?
Oh, I would just die, like, in an instant if I was in a
No, that's a mercy. You don't get to die. If I have to be stuck fucking this horrible evil MILF forever, you don't get to just die and be safe.
Oh, I got one for Josh.
What was one?
Jackie Briggs tells her dad that Josh is trying to get with her, and now Josh has to live in fear of Jax.
Sir, please, I can't help it. The exaggerated swagger of your daughter attracted me.
Sir, I can't help it. I think your daughter's very pretty. And I wanted to get to know her better. I would like to invite her to dinner, but I don't have money.
She already got that. She already has to deal with that Shirai Ryu boy. I ain't about to have 2 people over here trying to look at her.
Wait.
Sir, I just want to put a baby in her.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not dumb enough to say that.
Jax, please understand. I just want to breed her. I don't see what you're so upset about.
God damn. So, like, the fact that, like, Jax isn't even coming to kill me, he just, like, got his eye on me, always threatening me. is probably
Always.
Like, he's always, like, you know, like, half a block behind me, like, looking at me
Doesn't
with a
matter where you
threatening,
are.
like, threatening look on his face.
He does that bullshit intro where he smokes a cigar and puts it out on his like metal hand. He's always looking at you.
I like that intro.
He's just like,
Like, I'm not a big fan of fighting games, and Mortal Kombat is definitely not one that I would play, but I like the aesthetic and, the story. I don't like the controls. I remember them being very clunky back on the SNES, and I have heard they haven't gotten better.
it's more that they just stuck with the same shit and just really felt like, well, there's no need to really fix anything. So
Yeah,
fuck it,
I
we're just
mean,
gonna
like,
keep
you know,
doing this.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is a valid thing, but, you know,
But sir, it is broke. Not to us, it isn't. So fuck you.
exactly. It's very clunky. I would not say it is intact. It might not be broke, but it certainly isn't, like, perfect.
So there we go. We've got Josh's eternal torture of running from Jackson Briggs, and
Not
nobody
even running.
understanding
He's
why.
just like, you know, invading my personal life to, like, you know, give me the stink eye and threaten me.
And no one understands why he's doing that. It's like, Jack, what the fuck is your deal? Why are you constantly following this random nobody? Y'all wouldn't understand.
Baby
Protected
girl.
my
It's not something you can understand.
Jax, we have kids, yeah, but you ain't actually a real parent.
Fucking,
Sonya, when's the last time you?
who's he saying this to?
Sonya, when's the last time you actually watched after your kid? Oh yeah, that's right, you died. You died like a bitch.
In that world.
You
In
left
that
your
world.
kid with Johnny.
Hey. Johnny's cool.
And now Johnny's just an old dad.
I want to see Johnny Cage in, like, you know, some frickin' MGS4 level old Snake bullshit.
Now I want Johnny Cage to have like a bit of a beer belly and starting to lose some of his hair. I want old boomer Cage, but he still thinks he's the coolest shit on the planet.
I like
How do
the,
you do, fellow kids?
I like all the boomer Dante memes.
I mean, that's what Dante is, and that's what his fan base is.
Like, at this point, yeah, he's been around long enough. He just doesn't look like it, because demon blood keeps you young.
We talked about what would happen if Dante separated his demon half from his human half.
I didn't hear this
Virgil's-
conversation. I want to hear it.
No, yeah, I talked about this. So I said this as a theory when somebody posted some fan art of Virgil and V. And I said, you know what? What would happen if Dante did that to himself? Because Virgil separated his human side from himself, and it was V. And V is what Virgil would basically be if he wasn't a demon. A little emo boy who loves, you know, poetry and shit. That's really all Virgil is.
A little emo
what
boy
would
who is honest about wanting to be protected and loved.
Yeah. And what would Dante be? Because Dante is an over-the-top, exaggerated, you know, asshole. And basically, I said, what if his human side is like a super obese dude that thinks he's the coolest guy ever, but he's a disgusting slob? Because that's Dante's personality.
Okay.
But Dante can get away with it because he's high.
What
What if Dante doesn't have demon blood? Guess what? Now you have inner frat boy. That's Dante. Like Billy's inner frat boy.
Oh god, I remember that. My headcanon is that Dante doesn't even need to eat. He just eats the pizza and the sundaes for pleasure.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Just Dante's human side would be all of what Dante actually is. If there was no demon blood, you'd have this hefty, you know, scummy kind of kid that's always like trying to flirt with people and trying to say cool lines, but he's a fat dude.
I don't think he would be fat. I think he'd just be like, you know, visibly overweight, but not like to the point that you call
That's what
him
I'm
fat,
saying.
you know? Like chubby, maybe.
And he's like, yeah, let's party. And he's the guy no one invites to parties
I was that guy.
because he's so cringy as to what he would actually look like.
I was that guy.
Like V works more because he's quiet, but Dante's not quiet. so his human side wouldn't be quiet.
Have you seen, like, you know, footage of DMC5 Special Edition?
I have, yes.
Have you seen the taunt? Have you seen the Virgil taunt where his doppelganger comes out on his own and starts doing, like, Miku Miku dances?
Yeah. Everyone said that's V getting his payback on Virgil.
Yeah.
When your human side gets tired of, of neglecting it.
Yeah, like, that seems to be the case. His doppelganger is just, like, V when he's still himself.
Josh, are you still streaming?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Fucking Green really loves fucking Fighter Z.
Yeah, he really does. I think I'm gonna quit after this dungeon though, because like I have a rule where, like, I try to do, when I'm doing this game anyway, since the story is divided up into years and a year is 3 dungeons, I try to do 2 years, so 6 dungeons, or 3 hours, whichever comes first. And it's looking like I'm gonna end up with 3 hours before I get 2 years.
I see. Well, the important thing is the friends you made along the way.
That actually is how this game works. That actually is, like, you joke, but, like, without knowing anything about this game, you've hit on one of the core themes of this game.
That's pretty much how I work. I always hit things without even trying to. That's my greatest power and my greatest weakness.
Yeah, like that time you hit that chick in the face without trying to.
Hey. She had no problem with that.
Yeah.
With asking for it.
Yeah, she was all like, slap me, daddy.
More or less. Except for the daddy part. Because even I'm like, fuck you. If you say that, I'm leaving.
Okay. Well, slap me, patriarchal figure.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Now we're talking.
Yeah, the non-gendered version of Sugar Daddy is, Glucose Guardian.
Now we're even better. See, this is exactly... See, kids, this is all you need to know if you ever want to learn how to flirt with your crush. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah, in this modern era of, like, you know, non-gender binary, you gotta make room for Glucose Guardians in your vocabulary.
I'm sorry, I know I look like a female, but I'm actually a boy. Haha, you fool. You think that that's gonna stop me?
I saw this screenshot of a Twitter conversation, of, like, you know, I guess the person, being flirted with looked like a really pretty lady, because, it was just someone sliding into their DMs being all like, hey, let me tap that pussy, or something like that, and, the person responds, I'm trans, and then, like, he's all like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me tap that ass.
Then all he has to say is, then let me tap that pussy. There is no problem here.
Yeah, like, it's literally like, you know, he goes from tap that pussy to tap that ass in an instant.
Like, well, exactly. My horniness wins no matter what you are.
Like, this is the modern culture where, like, you know, we're all very accepting, even the creeps.
I accept whatever my dick decides it wants to go into.
Yeah, like, who am I to question my dick?
I tried questioning it once. It won the argument.
That's pretty funny to me.
Because it's rooted in truth.
This dungeon that I'm in right now, like, I haven't even talked about this dungeon since I've been here, because we've been having such a good conversation. This dungeon I'm in right now is a swamp, so, you know, like, narrow wooden bridges and small islands. And it's a long dungeon, but it's not, like, confusing like the one I did yesterday.
Nice.
So, Josh, would you say you can drain the swamp?
No, but there is a zombie dragon in the middle of it that I'm about to go fight.
Oh.
Now Eric has lost all interest. If you can't do this, then what's the fuck the point of a swamp?
Swamps?
Everyone knows the best thing to do in a swamp is to try to fight a gator.
I kind of want to get RE7 just for that End of Zoe DLC, but I'm not going to pay full price for it because, like, I dislike first-person perspective.
Oh, you ain't got to do all that. All you got to do is just get Red Dead for cheap and then just get Arthur drunk and go fight a gator in the swamp.
I have no interest in Red Dead.
Yeah, you get to just go and then wrestle a gator and see if you win with just a knife.
I'll think about it.
Or you can do what Rian did and get attacked by bears over and over again.
The speed lines were on it. Fucking... Yeah, the boss intro cutscene for this fucking zombie dragon has a little goblin hoarding 5 treasure chests, and then the zombie dragon just drops down and steps on it, and now you fight him instead.
Well, now I'm conflicted because on one hand you're a zombie dragon, on the other hand you did kill a goblin for me, so I don't much care for goblins. So, you know, I'm kind of struggling with the idea of beating you up. You did service today. You killed a goblin.
Because it is holy element.
I see.
And, like, that's a clue to the, like, final act twist. But you probably would never notice while you're just fighting the dragon. Anyway, zombie dragon is dead very quickly.
I killed a zombie, and everything changed.
How do you kill a zombie? Isn't it already dead?
I don't know. Ask Kenshiro. That's his whole business.
It's just like, Kenshiro is just like Kung Fu Apocalypse Jesus.
I mean, that's his occupation. It's on his business card.
Yeah. Wandering Kung Fu Apocalypse Jesus.
Kiryu is Yakuza Jesus. Big Boss is Soldier Jesus. And, you know, there's a lot of Jesus. A lot of different Jesuses for whatever theme you need. That's what it's all about. Even Yakuzis need Jesus.
Does religion ever come up in the Yakuza games? I can't remember.
I don't think so. Eric?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Can you think of any?
I think there's one time Kiryu went to a church, but I might be wrong.
He looked at it. He looked at a church and then it exploded.
Yeah, not to pray or anything. Just
he was there.
He was there.
There was somebody there.
Somebody somewhere out there.
I've got your reply.
Kiryu looked at the church and said, "Do I have to do a boss fight in there?" No. Okay, time to keep walking.
No. Kiryu looked at the church and went in there to flirt with the shogi girl. That's what.
I don't think
happened.
Kiryu knows what flirting is.
Well, he does it. He manages to do it, despite that.
Yeah, but he doesn't actually know he's flirting. It's that Japanese thing where just you being a stoic person leads to you somehow being the most charismatic fucker on the planet. Like,
To be fair, there's truth to that. Girls like mysterious guys.
It's more that people in general just like the idea of, one, you make me feel comfortable because I know you don't give a shit. And then two, because you almost seem naive to certain things, like, oh, I'm flirting with you, and you're not playing off of their flirting, they get confused. And then they're like, oh, maybe there's more to this person. Meanwhile, you don't even recognize what they're trying to do. That's Kiryu.
Like, there are a few moments in my past where I feel like I was being flirted with and didn't realize it. And there's no way to, like, check now. Yeah, it's too late now, you know?
Right.
But the fact that, like, if I look back on it, it seems like it. Makes me terrified for any like future possibilities of that.
I felt compelled to find out more about.
Anyway, I'm getting story tidbits now.
It seems that he's a warrior.
Okay then. Well, gentlemen, this has been very entertaining.
I'm glad you enjoyed
it. Make myself some dinner. So, Joshua, I will say goodnight to you.
Good night, buddy.
Word of his exploits first.
No, just saying. See ya.
Yeah, man.
A preacher named Hurdy hired him
He's
for protection.
dead.
Yeah.
Perhaps after hearing those rumors.
So, like, remember how I was talking about that guy named Hurdy and his brother Gertie, but they're actually the same person?
Uh-huh.
And I talked before about how the Black Knight was important to the story. We're getting info about the Black Knight, and this is the cutscene where we learned his connection to Hurdy.
Some cited the preacher and the Black Knight setting up camp deep in the wetlands.
Yep.
Later, the pair headed further in.
I know you want a junior level conversation with me, but it
Nah.
doesn't happen to me.
Nah, I know what to expect from
The
you.
other day, I asked Hurdy
Failure.
himself about that story,
No.
but he
Chill.
claimed to have no memory of it. There's a boy who says he wants revenge on the Black Knight for his father's death. Perhaps the preacher prefers to avoid association with
I'm just, like, I'm quiet right now because I want the
I could learn no more
dialogue to be heard.
In the end, he remained an
Okay.
enigma.
And that is the end of the cutscene, and that is also where I'm going to end the stream. Because it's almost 3 hours, and that seems like a good place to stop. A good little story cliffhanger, where, like, I keep mentioning that, like, oh, these characters are actually important to the overall story of the game. And this seems like a good place to stop, since I just learned something about a couple of them. Like I've said before, like, the story in this game is piecemeal and also not very elaborate. It's not like most Final Fantasy games. It's definitely a much simpler story and a much smaller story, but it's got a bunch of cutscenes spread out that you just randomly run into when you're traveling on the road, and only some of them are important.
Only some, but not all.
Yeah. I can't even remember, like, all of which ones are important, but I know that anything to do with the Black Knight and, that story that your town mayor tells you every new year, where, like, a kid who, wanted to get rid of all the miasma in the world, and then anything to do with Hurdy and or Gertie. Because those motherfuckers are giving you clues to how to get rid of the miasma permanently. And the Black Knight exists to introduce you to the villain eventually. And I don't mean that, like, the Black Knight joins your team and fights alongside you. I mean that, like, there's spoilers, there's eventually going to be a cutscene where you run into the Black Knight and the villain is also there. But that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
So that's the end of the thing. I'm going to exit back to the title screen, and then I'm going to end the stream.
Alright, if you want to see my stream, then get me better internet, fools.
You heard him. You heard it here first, folks. Also, I had one person join during the stream, and they said one thing, and then didn't say anything else again, but it did that same thing that it did for you yesterday, where it repeated your comment multiple times, even though they weren't there anymore. Anyway, end of the stream.